Just started university, and my beautiful tutor turns out to be the mother of my child. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1326 Iceberg Beauty. If you offend my goddess, you will end up in a bad way. But do you know why I haven't done anything to you yet? Li Xiaoqiang said with a lewd look. Lu Qingqing's eyes gradually became a little worried, because she felt that the man in front of her was interested in her. This guy looked like a loser. Otherwise, why would he call her goddess all the time? I guess that person named Lisa is not very good looking. Anyway, Lu Qingqing didn't plan to continue arguing with this person. She was not a fool. She knew that if she continued to talk to this man, the other party would definitely do his best to hurt her. So he planned to comfort this person first, and wait until someone found out that he was taken away before saving him. After all, his identity was not for show, so he said, "Then I really want to meet your goddess Lisa. I didn't expect that someone like me, the eldest lady of the Lu family, who has both beauty and status in my life, can't attract you. Then I am very curious about how beautiful your goddess is." Unexpectedly, he actually took the initiative to get to know Lisa, so Li Xiaoqiang still liked his goddess very much. After all, he paid so much, so he kindly took out his photo. They were all kinds of photos of Lisa. After seeing these photos, Lu Qingqing's eyes revealed a hint of irony. It was just like this. I thought she was such a great beauty. But she was a little bit prettier than ordinary beauties. After thinking of this, she felt that Li Xiaoqiang had a really bad taste. But of course she couldn't say that on the surface. So she continued to say to Li Xiaoqiang against her will, "Yes, your goddess is really beautiful. Although other young ladies are not bad, but in my memory, few people can compare with her." Of course. He couldn't praise people too obviously, otherwise if the other person was not a fool, you could hear that he was deliberately saying nice things. Sure enough. After he said this, Li Xiaoqiang was very happy, because his goddess was praised. How could he not be happy? Although the young lady of the Lu family, Lu Qingqing, was indeed in line with his taste, the person he liked more was of course Lisa, whom he had liked for many years. So he said happily, "You have a good vision. I also think that my goddess is the person I love most in my life, no one else. But now you have been caught by me. If you can make me happy in the next few days, then maybe you are qualified to be my goddess." After hearing what he said, Lu Qingqing was speechless. Because she didn't expect Li Xiaoqiang to be so narcissistic. Who wants to be his goddess? This dog has no money, no looks, and no status. Even if I become his goddess, what's the point? I can't get anything. Why bother? After thinking about it, Lu Qingqing felt even more disgusted with this guy in her heart. It's just that he can't say it, and he has to please the other party. After all, it's just a few nice words. He grew up in the Lu family and it's not that he hasn't said it before. So he said, "Yes, yes, yes, I also think that someone as hardworking and gentle as you will definitely be liked by his goddess, but I have never been anyone's goddess. They all just treat me as a young lady. Brother, are you really willing to treat me as your goddess here?" Now Lu Qingqing has been increasingly following the other party's words, so she believes that it won't be long before the other party will treat her as his own. Sure enough. After saying this, Li Xiaoqiang became very happy. He didn't expect that a girl could actually come to him from a high position. It was just that the young lady of the Lu family in front of him was so great that he actually took the initiative to ask himself if he was willing to treat her as a goddess. Of course he was willing. Such a beautiful woman was willing to give him a chance, why wouldn't he be willing? Could it be that he couldn't like other women besides Lisa? Of course not. So when there was a woman who took the initiative to throw herself at him, he accepted it with a smile and said, "Okay, Miss Lu, since you think highly of me, then I do like you too. How about this, tomorrow you will teach me how to chase my other goddess Lisa." Hearing this, Lu Qingqing was speechless. She didn't expect that this licking dog really didn't give up at all. He had already said that he was willing to be his goddess. Isn't that enough? That's right. He remembered one thing, which is the favorite thing of licking dogs, that is, to like someone who can't get him. He just promised to be his goddess, isn't that giving him face? Yes. That's right. To deal with such licking dogs, you can't treat them like normal people. After seeing the situation clearly, Lu Qingqing suddenly changed her face and said to the licking dog Li Xiaoqiang in front of her in a very cold manner, "Are you stupid? Do you think I will help you chase another woman? Don't think that you can make me fall in love with you by saying a few nice words just now. Let me tell you, I have seen a lot of people like you. It's not that there were no noble sons who came to please me before, but I didn't agree to them. Do you think I will be afraid of you just because you caught me here?" Lu Qingqing's sudden change made Li Xiaoqiang a little unbelievable. The speed at which this woman changes her face is really faster than the speed of turning a book. And there is no logic at all. Did they say it well just now? He also planned to let Lu Qingqing come to give him advice? Why did he suddenly say something different? He frowned and threatened with some displeasure, "Don't be shameless, I told you. You are in my hands now, which is equivalent to you being my hostage. You are still qualified to say such words to me. Aren't you afraid that I will do something bad to you?" However, after knowing that this guy is a licking dog, Lu Qingqing became less and less afraid. After all, he still has the means to deal with such people. He crossed his legs, and then his eyes showed disdain and a bit of arrogance. Looking like an iceberg beauty, he said to Li Xiaoqiang, "What do you think you will do to me? Is this a reason for me to be afraid? I tell you, you have no ability and dare to want other women. Do you think you are worthy of listening to you casually? And do you think I look like the kind of person you said?" Sure enough, Li Xiaoqiang really listened to him and looked at her again. He found that Lu Qingqing suddenly changed, and her momentum was completely different. This momentum is exactly the same as when he met Lisa before. She was completely noble and cold in front of him. So he was particularly fond of this kind of person. His legs immediately softened, so he said, Yes, it's all because I didn't have eyes just now. I'm sorry, Miss Lu, I shouldn't talk to you like this. How can you be ordered by me with such a noble status? It should be you who orders me. So now I will untie you immediately, but please don't leave, okay? Because I want to keep you here for 5 days and 5 nights before I can let you go." Seeing that Li Xiaoqiang's eyes had changed when he looked at him, Lu Qingqing was very proud in his heart, and his face became more arrogant and willful. This was simply a true performance, but he didn't expect that this guy was quite fond of this kind of person. So he said even more coldly, "Leave me here for 5 days. Do you think I will have any feelings for you in these 5 days? Don't even think about it, I don't have any other thoughts about you." But the more he was like this, the more Li Xiaoqiang felt that he liked him. On the contrary, he had acted in a frightened and flattering manner just now, which did not make Li Xiaoqiang fall in love with him at all. Now the situation was completely reversed. Li Xiaoqiang did not say much, and directly untied him, then let him sit on his sofa, and poured him a glass of water, and then said to him, "Miss Lu, all the mistakes just now were my fault. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I only ask that you can stay here with me willingly for 5 days, okay? In this way, I can fulfill a small wish of mine." Chapter 1327 I will definitely listen to you. Seeing Li Xiaoqiang so humble, Lu Qingqing was finally happy in her heart. Because he used such an effect, he could negotiate the conditions next. He just glanced at the other party coldly, and then said, "You want me to stay, but it depends on your performance. If I don't know, why should I agree to you?" Li Xiaoqiang was not angry at what he said. Or he had other emotions, but he was submissive. "Miss Lu, you are right. I should do things for you before you can agree to let me stay for a day or two, but please stay, otherwise, I will die." After hearing this, Lu Qingqing's eyes suddenly became a little cold and looked at him and said, "I can understand what you said, but don't forget that you regard me as a goddess now, so you shouldn't think about another person. If you do this, I think you are disgusting." After hearing what he said, the other party nodded, raised her hand, and then assured him, "I was wrong, Miss Lu, I only have you in my heart now, I am willing to do anything for you, please, can you give me another cold and noble look, I like you like this." After hearing such a perverted request from the other party, Lu Qingqing's heart began to feel sick, but in order to meet the other party's request, she could only pretend to be a cold queen. She stared at the other party. It must be said that his image is really like that, and the other party's legs immediately weakened. With a plop, she knelt down and said to him, "My queen, I can do anything you want me to do now." After saying this, Lu Qingqing smiled slightly, and then she restrained her emotional expression and said, "Okay, since you said so, then I will say it directly. Now I need a meal and a dinner. If you don't get it ready for me within half an hour, I won't say a word to you again. What? Half an hour? You know, it's not certain that you can find food in this place even after an hour, let alone half an hour. But the key is that the other party is so anxious. If he doesn't agree, then he's done. Seeing that he didn't answer her, Lu Qingqing said coldly, "What's the matter? Is there a problem? Is it because I gave you too much time to make this request, so you are dissatisfied?" After hearing what he said, the other party shook his head and said, "No, no, no. Miss Lu, I will do everything you said. I am preparing dinner for you now." Lu Qingqing watched the other party leave the house with her eyes open. When the other party had no sound, she slowly walked over and opened the door, but she found that it was locked from the outside. She was immediately very angry. The damn guy actually locked the door, so wasn't it to prevent her from escaping? It seems that this guy is not stupid. At this point, we can only wait for the other party to come back. In the blink of an eye, it was noon again. However, when Zhang Yuxi continued to call Lu Qingqing, he could not get a reply from the other party. He was completely anxious. He said to himself, "No? If this guy really had something urgent, it would be impossible for him not to answer the phone all day." Half a day has passed. It can only be said that something happened to him. Could it be that he has been discovered by his family? If so, it will be troublesome. In order to ensure this matter, Zhang Yuxi could only pick up the car keys and prepare to go downstairs to find Lu Qingqing. Anyway, he has been to Lu's house before. If he goes again this time, the worst that can happen is to hide his identity a little bit and not be discovered. But when he was about to leave, suddenly, Secretary Lisa, who was coming out of the secretary's office, stopped him and said to him, "Boss, where are you going?" After hearing his question, Zhang Yuxi frowned and said, "Just take care of your own business. You don't need to worry about where I'm going, and you don't need to drive." After hearing what he said, Secretary Lisa became even more unhappy, but on the surface she still looked very accommodating. There was no way, after all, she was his boss. He didn't want to break up with her now, so he could only nod and said in a very well-behaved and docile manner, "Okay, Mr. Zhang, don't worry, I will definitely wait for you to come back in the office, and I have already asked someone to implement the plan you mentioned before. When you come back, you will definitely be able to see the final effect." After seeing Lisa's sudden change of attitude, Zhang Yuxi also noticed it. He knew that this guy would not dare to disobey his order, so he nodded and said, "Okay, since you said so, then everything in the company will be handed over to you, but you have to promise me that my plan will never go wrong, and you haven't told anyone else, right?" Although he knew that Lisa always made him feel very relieved when doing things, he still asked again as usual. After hearing his question, Secretary Lisa shook her head and said, "Mr. Zhang, you are still worried about me. How could I tell other people about this plan? Don't worry, only you and I know about it." After saying this, Zhang Yuxi left the company, but after he left, Secretary Lisa had already started calling his dog Li Ziaokun again. After the other party answered the phone, he asked coldly, "What about that woman? Did you beat her up now?" After hearing what he said, Li Ziaokun certainly couldn't tell her the truth. Otherwise, wouldn't he tell him that he wanted to please Lu Qingqing now? He naturally couldn't say it, so he was perfunctorily saying, "Don't worry, goddess, how could I not teach him a lesson? He made you so unhappy, I must have beaten him up. If you are worried, I will take pictures later." After hearing what he said, Lisa didn't need him to take pictures, because he believed what the other party did, so he smiled and didn't ask any more questions. Anyway, within 5 days, no matter what, you can't let him run away, understand? After finally perfunctorily giving Secretary Lisa a rest, Li Ziaokun nodded and said, "Don't worry, goddess, I will definitely listen to you and treat him well." So Lisa hung up the phone very happily. Anyway, both things have been done, he just needs to wait until Zhang Yuxi comes back very heartbroken. After all, who asked for it himself? If it weren't for the betrayal, he wouldn't have made this plan to hurt Zhang Yuxi. He felt that the last incident was not enough of a blow to Zhang Yuxi, so after this time, he believed that he was the only person Zhang Yuxi could trust. Chapter 1328. This kid gives me a headache just by looking at him. On the other side, Zhang Yuxi had already driven to find Lu Qingqing, but when he arrived at the Lu family, he found that many people had also come out of the house. It seemed that they were looking for someone, and at this time he was surrounded by the people of the Lu family. The person in the front happened to be Zhang Yuxi's brother, the eldest young master of the Lu family. He said to Zhang Yuxi very angrily, "You guy. You dare to show up in our house again, are you not afraid of death? Hand over my sister quickly." After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi felt a little aggrieved. What happened? He had just arrived at the Lu family, how could he be the one who took Lu Qingqing away? He said very unhappily, "Don't talk nonsense, I have no contact with the eldest lady of your Lu family, and I came to him today because I have something to say." After hearing this, the eldest young master of the Lu family sneered and said, "What do you want to do? Don't I know it? You still dare to be stubborn until now, it seems that you will not admit it unless you are arrested." After hearing what he said, Zhang Yuxi was a little unhappy. Because after he said it kindly, the other party no longer didn't appreciate it, but became more domineering, so his patience gradually disappeared. So he said, "Even if the Lu family has a certain influence in the entire demon city, it doesn't mean that you can decide a person's life or death at will, not to mention that my group is not unable to fight against your Lu family." Zhang Yuxi was still very confident about this. So after he said this, he felt that the other party would more or less look at him for his own sake and give him some face. But unexpectedly, the eldest young master of the Lu family couldn't care so much for the whereabouts of his sister, and rushed up and punched Zhang Yuxi directly in the face. You have to know that Zhang Yuxi was originally a businessman, and he had no experience in fighting. So at this moment, after being punched, he not only couldn't resist, but also had to prevent the other party from punching him a second time. So he said to the other party, "Are you crazy? Can't you hear me? I've said it before, I don't have any contact with your sister. I also knew that his phone couldn't be reached today, so I came to find him." But no matter what he said, the angry young master of the Lu family thought he was lying and would not believe anything he said. Anyway, in the place of the young master of the Lu family, he felt that Zhang Yuxi's credibility was zero, so he directly ordered his men, "Why are you still standing there? Quickly arrest this guy for me, he is lying all the time and you can't believe what he said." He said it was none of his business, but this young master thought it was related to him. Otherwise, how could he come to see my sister today? After saying this, the men under his command no longer hesitated. Anyway, no matter what happened, their young master would cover it. Why do they care so much? Just go ahead and it's over. Zhang Yuxi was also very angry with this group of people, and then he yelled loudly, "You bunch of lunatics, if I get the chance, I will definitely make your Lu family pay the price." Zhang Yuxi was already mad at the young master of the Lu family. It was nothing. Let's sit down and talk it out, maybe we can find out where Lu Qingqing went. But now this scene made him particularly angry, so after he got angry, the young master of the Lu family not only didn't say anything nice to him, and he even intensified it, saying to the person next to him, "What do you do for a living? Don't you know that this person has a mouth? What you said is so stinky, what's the difference between it and farting?" After saying this, the servant quickly got his order and punched Zhang Yuxi. He directly punched the other party's nose and made a booger come out. This completely pissed off Zhang Yuxi. Although he is not good at fighting, he can't be bullied by the other party for nothing. Isn't this a direct slap in his face? How would he behave if this matter was made public? He was a very powerful figure in the business world. As a result, he was bullied like this and didn't fight back. Then he would be looked down upon by many people in the future. No matter what, he would never let the young master of the Lu family be so arrogant again. So after he fought back, he was completely beaten up by the next group of people. In the end, it was only after Zhang Yuxi directly begged for mercy that these people stopped. The young master of the Lu family gave him a kick with great pride, then kicked his waist and said to him, "I thought you were so arrogant, but I didn't expect you to be so useless. This move is equivalent to buying you a lesson. If you dare to be rude in front of me again next time, you can imagine how serious the consequences will be. Lock him up now, and I will teach him a lesson in person later. When can he tell me the whereabouts of my sister and when can I let him go?" After saying this, his people tied Zhang Yuxi up again and locked him in another room. After seeing this scene, Zhang Yuxi really regretted it. Why did he come to the Lu family alone? He thought that even if they had a problem with him, they would never do anything. But he didn't expect that there would be a brainless idiot like the Lu family's eldest son, who would attack him directly and not even give him a chance to explain. After the Lu family's eldest son brought the person in, the old man of the Lu family and his assistant who came from a garden next to him saw the scene and asked in surprise, Who did you bring back again? After hearing the scope of his grandfather, the other party just shook his head and said in a meek manner, Grandpa, how could I bring anyone back? It's just one of my subordinates who doesn't have a long memory. I planned to teach him a lesson, so don't worry about it. Although he knew he was lying, the old man of the Lu family didn't bother to argue with him. Anyway, he shouldn't be an important person, otherwise, this kid wouldn't dare to stay in his house. So he nodded and said to the assistant, help me go back, this kid is giving me a headache. The assistant nodded quickly and left, which made the young master of the Lu family feel relieved. Because if his grandfather really wanted to ask him who he brought back, it would be difficult for him to explain clearly. Fortunately, the other party did not ask too many questions. After everyone left, the young master of the Lu family was taking Zhang Yuxi to his basement, and he threw him to the ground, and walked over with a baseball bat and said to him, hey, if you don't plan to tell me where my sister is, then don't even think about leaving the door of our Lu family today. Chapter 1329 Dilemma. After hearing what the young master of the Lu family said, Zhang Yuxi was furious. He didn't expect this guy to be serious. Now he is in a dilemma. If he said he knew the whereabouts of Lu Qingqing, then the other party would definitely bring people to find her. If he didn't find her, he would be in trouble. If he found her, no. It's impossible to find her. Now they don't know where Lu Qingqing is, so he is like a headless fly. How could he provide any clues to the young master of the Lu family? So he shook his head and said, whether you believe it or not, I didn't touch your sister anyway. I came here today because his phone couldn't be reached, so I wanted to come and see if he was locked up by you guys. If so, I plan to let him go. Even if you beat me to death here, I still don't know where he is. What's more, do you think I'm the kind of person who came to die by myself? It has to be said that what he said. It really brought new memories to the young master of the Lu family, because there was no need for the other party to lie. Even if he lied, it would not do him any good. So at this moment, the young master of the Lu family asked Zhang Yuxi again, are you telling the truth? If you really know the whereabouts of my sister, but you don't tell me, you know I will definitely beat you to death with this baseball bat. But now you say you don't know, then okay, you follow me to find my sister. If you can find her, then the matter is over. If I can't find her, I must use you as compensation. After hearing what he said, Zhang Yuxi had no choice. Now, except to agree to him, what else can he do? The other party obviously would not let him go, so he nodded and said, okay, I will go with you to find your sister. But as a very cruel businessman, he would never let it go. This guy hired him, so he must retaliate. On the other side, Lin Feng has told his detectives his orders. If they find that any of them want to touch Zhang Yuxi, they will arrest them directly. So now Zhang Yuxi is very safe, mainly because Lin Feng never thought that someone would be so fearless to cause trouble for Zhang Yuxi. By now, he has thought of a way to deal with it. There are 2 days left before their company's pharmaceutical press conference. He does not allow any mistakes to happen, and his people are reporting to him all the time. Suddenly, Detective Qin Leke called him. In the phone, Qin Leke's voice was very excited and said, Boss, it's good news, great news, do you know what happened just now? Hearing the other party's tone, he knew it must be Zhang Yuxi. Something bad happened to their people, otherwise how could he be so excited? So Lin Feng said, don't keep us in suspense, tell us quickly. The other party said excitedly, Boss, you can't believe that Zhang Yuxi took the initiative to give himself up and went to the Lu family. Then he was tied up and beaten by the brainless young master of the Lu family. It seems that he was released because he persuaded the young master of the Lu family, but he has to go with him to find Lu Qingqing. After hearing this, Lin Feng had a play. He didn't expect Lu Qingqing to be missing. Zhang Yuxi and Lu Qingqing are now grasshoppers on the same rope. How could they not even find a person? So he interrupted the other party and said, what's going on? Isn't Lu Qingqing cooperating with Zhang Yuxi? Why is he missing? Could it be the Lu family who did it? After saying this, he also felt that it was impossible, because especially if it was the Lu family who did it, they would not beat the person directly. However, it does not rule out that the Lu family's eldest son's hatred for Zhang Yuxi has reached a very deep level, so he beat him up. The question now is, where did Lu Qingqing, the key figure, go? After hearing his words, Qin Leke on the phone seemed to react. That's right. How could he forget that Lu Qingqing was missing? That would have a great impact on their boss's plan to get up. So, he comforted Lin Feng and said, "Boss, why don't I let my brothers go look for him together, maybe we can find him." After hearing what he said, Lin Feng shook his head and said, "No, since he is missing, then someone should go find him, and the first one to worry about him must be Zhang Yuxi. After all, if there is no Lu Kingking, then Zhang Yuxi's plan will be difficult to achieve, so we don't have to waste manpower to find Lu Kingking, and leave this difficult problem to him." Lin Feng's move was indeed smart enough. Qin Leke nodded and Lin Feng said, "Okay, let's do this for now. If there's any other new news, call me immediately. Do you know?" The other party nodded and said, "Okay, boss, I will definitely tell you the latest news." After saying this, the two of them hung up the phone, but after they hung up the phone, Qin Leke suddenly discovered something else. Is it possible that this matter is related to Lisa who contacted him before? If so, maybe he can take this opportunity to ask the other party to help him. So he called Lisa. Lisa, who was very concerned about him in her heart, was a little surprised after receiving his call. She showed a very indifferent expression on her mouth and said, "What else do you have? Didn't we agree? After you helped me with that thing before, we didn't have any contact." After hearing his cold tone, Qin Leke certainly would not give up and continued his sweet words. Under one attack, Lisa, who was originally very indifferent, immediately became very happy. "Okay, stop saying so many nice things. What do you want to talk to me about? Do you want to talk to me over the phone, or should we meet in person?" Unexpectedly, Lisa wanted to meet in person after just a few words, so Qin Leke was very proud of it, so he said, "Okay, we can meet offline, but there is one thing I have to tell you first. I will ask you a few questions later, and you must answer me truthfully. If you don't say it, then there is no need for us to meet next time." Although he couldn't guess whether Lu Kingking was related to Lisa, he felt that this matter was not so important. Anyway, it would be useful to contact Lisa, an important person, more often. It's not possible to just cut it off. Otherwise, how to find someone to continue monitoring Zhang Yuxi next? With his intelligence, it would be too easy to get news about Zhang Yuxi from Lisa. So after he said this, the other party nodded and said, "Okay, I will answer any questions you have for me later, but you are not allowed to cheat. You must accompany me well today." Chapter 1330. You'd better keep your word. After saying this, Qin Leke was a little embarrassed. After all, he had rested for many days after falling in love with this woman. He didn't expect to accompany him again this time. But in order to complete this task, he was willing to give it a try. "Okay, let's talk about these things after we meet." After hanging up the phone, Qin Leke was excited about his decision. He felt that if this decision was successful, his boss might reward him. When he thought of Lin Feng's exaggerated attitude towards him, he would forgive his efforts today. Similarly, on the other side, after getting the news that she could date Qin Leke, Lisa also began to prepare slowly. She first went back to put on makeup again, then changed her clothes, and finally picked up her bag and went out happily. But she forgot one thing, that is, her boss Zhang Yuxi has not come back until now. She was not worried at all. This was an absolute mistake that the former secretary Lisa would never make. But now, she has more important things to do, so she doesn't care about Zhang Yuxi anymore. What's more, Zhang Yuxi didn't treat her very well, and now she couldn't slowly change her mind. After experiencing these things, Secretary Lisa had completely lost confidence in her boss. Because she knew that she couldn't be trusted anyway, it would be better to think of other ways to plan for herself. Now is a good time. She can get the true love of Qin Leke, but she also understands that Qin Leke's position is on the other side, just like Lin Feng and their boss Zhang Yuxi. But if she really wants to join, it would be equivalent to betraying her boss, but this is not a problem he has not thought about. If she can join with sincerity, maybe the other party will not be unable to give herself such an opportunity. So when Lisa put on a brand new makeup and went to find Qin Leke, she also thought more clearly about her ideas. After arriving, she found Qin Leke, and the other party had already ordered her favorite cappuccino. "I didn't expect you to come so soon. I thought I would have to wait a little longer." Qin Leke looked at the time. When he dated this woman before, this guy usually didn't arrive more than half an hour in advance, so he was a little uncomfortable with coming so early today. But Lisa came with her own ideas today, so it was impossible for her to be late. And she also tried to gradually lead the topic to her side. So after she sat down, She stretched out her hand to Qin Lekei's hand and said to him, "I really miss you recently. If it weren't for this matter, we probably wouldn't see each other for a long time." Thinking of this, he was hesitating about how to join Lin Feng's company. The benefit of doing this is not only to get rid of a heartless boss like Zhang Yuxi. Another benefit is that he can continue to stay with Qin Lekei in front of him. Anyway, they are all working for Lin Feng alone, so it is much more convenient to spend time together. But his idea was very dangerous. Qin Lekei had finally gotten rid of this woman. If they really worked together, he might as well die. So facing this terrible question, he could only reluctantly smile in answer, saying, "Yes, we haven't seen each other for a long time, but we will have plenty of opportunities in the future. Don't worry, we are all very busy recently. Otherwise, after this busy period, we can decide on a date or something. Let's just meet today." He was mainly lazy to date the other party in order to find out the news from the other party. If it can be avoided, it would be the best. If it can't be avoided, then it is to sacrifice himself. After hearing this, Lisa shook her head and said unwillingly, "So how can this be possible?" Then he said in a coquettish manner, "You promised me that you would go shopping with me today. If you don't agree to me, it means that you don't have me in your heart. Since you don't have me in your heart, then you just said those nice words to deliberately deceive me. Don't think that I don't know what you are thinking in your heart. In order to do things for your master, you use me, right? But I am not being used in vain. If I don't get some benefits, do you think you will agree?" After hearing Lisa's threat, he knew that his plan had failed, so he temporarily put it aside and said perfunctorily, "Okay, I'll go shopping with you later, that's okay, but now you have to answer a few questions for me. We agreed on the phone just now." After hearing this, Lisa nodded and asked him, "Okay, you can ask me anything you want now, ask quickly, don't waste our happy time later." After Lisa finished speaking, Qin Lekei was finally able to get the topic back on track. He asked, "Did you do anything to the eldest daughter of the Lu family?" He didn't expect such a powerful question to come first. Lisa's eyes were a little evasive. But for a detective, this was an obvious thing. So Qin Lekei had already confirmed that no matter whether he had done anything to Lu Qingqing or not, he knew about this matter anyway, so he asked again, "Do you know that our boss really needs to find this guy? If it was you who did it, then you'd better let her go now. Otherwise, if our boss comes to the door in person and finds out that the person behind it is you, it may be a bit troublesome. You also know that I haven't had much performance under my boss recently. I can't defend the boss because of this." He said it as if he didn't fail, then it would be his fault. The matter of Lu Qingqing was a very confidential matter for him, and he didn't expect that this detective would know about it. Lisa was a little unhappy, because she felt that she wanted to teach Lu Qingqing a lesson. It was all because of her jealousy, but now the detective actually asked her to let that person go, if the other party could really let him join Lin Feng. It's not that she can't let it go, but there is a premise that after releasing the person, can she really be safe? Or will she be warned by Lin Feng? So Lisa can agree to release the person now, but there is one thing she must ask Qin Lekei, that is, she said to Qin Lekei, "Okay, I can promise you to let that woman go. But you have to promise me that when you see your boss, you must plead for me, and you can't let this matter stop me and you from being together." This scared Qin Lekei directly. He might think that he and Lisa were already worthy of each other by going out on a date. Anyway, she also paid for herself. But I didn't expect that this woman was so unsatisfied, and she wanted to tell the other party in the future. He really wanted to tell the other party that he and the other party had no future, but seeing that Lisa was obviously not easy to deal with. If he dared to say that, then he would be finished. He could only nod and say, "Okay, don't worry. I will tell my boss when I go back, but you'd better keep your word and release the man." Seeing that he was so anxious, the eldest lady of the Lu family must be because it was really difficult to report to Lin Feng. After thinking about it, although Lisa was a little dissatisfied in her heart, she still didn't say anything. But when she thought that if she released Lin Feng, she could have a good relationship with Lin Feng, it was not a bad thing. She nodded, pretending to be well-behaved and said, "Okay, I'll listen to you." Chapter 1331 Humble Servant. Qin Lekei and Lisa began their respective acting scenes. They both knew that they should not be completely sincere to each other, including Secretary Lisa. Although she liked the Qin Lekei in front of her, she also knew that she had to like someone for her own future and could not give all her thoughts to him. The same thing happened to the detective Kin Lekei in front of him. After observing that Secretary Lisa was distracted, he understood that he must be thinking about something else in his heart. But Lisa had just promised him that she would release Lu Qingqing, so he didn't have to worry too much. So the two of them stayed together again the whole afternoon. It was not until 10 o'clock in the evening. Lisa came out of his room and went back to her home. Lisa walked in front, tidying up her clothes, and then called her licking dog Li Xiaoqiang. After the other party answered the call, Lisa said in a somewhat cold voice, "Aren't you the woman you caught? Now you let her go instead of waiting until tomorrow morning to send her back to the street and let her find a way to return to the Lu family." At this time, Li Xiaoqiang was trying to capture Lu Qingqing, but he had never succeeded because Lu Qingqing had already played the role of a cold goddess. Moreover, he felt that he still had several days to wait for Lu Qingqing's licking dog. But at this time, Lisa actually asked her to let the person go. Of course, he didn't want to, so he asked in confusion, "Why? Goddess, don't you hate this woman very much? I'll help you teach her a lesson and then vent your anger. If you let her go, there will be no such good thing." Hearing that he dared to question her, Lisa was immediately dissatisfied and said angrily, "Then, will you do what I say or not? If you don't do it, I'll let someone else let her go." After hearing this, Li Xiaoqiang immediately panicked. If someone else comes, wouldn't it expose what he is doing? So he shook his head and said, "Okay, goddess, don't worry. I will definitely send him away tomorrow morning." After hearing what he said, Lisa said to him with some worry, "Okay, after you send him away, remember to take a photo for me. I don't believe you." Unexpectedly, he was not trusted, which made Li Xiaoqiang feel that he was a failure as a dog licker. But the more this happened, the more valuable he felt that his spirit was. As long as he worked hard, he would be able to influence his goddess one day. So he nodded fiercely and said very hard, "Don't worry, goddess. I will definitely let her go according to what you said. And, I will take a photo for you, just wait for me." After saying this, Lisa hung up the phone with satisfaction. On the other side, Li Xiaoqiang, who has hung up, looked at the pretending iceberg beauty Lu Qingqing in front of him with some pain. He said to the other party, "Miss Lu, I didn't expect my goddess to let me let you go. We said we still have 4 days of good time. But now I have to let you go, otherwise, my goddess will be angry." When Lu Qingqing heard this, she was very happy. Could it be because someone saved her? If so, it would be great, but he thought it shouldn't be Zhang Cation. If so, then Lisa would not have called Li Xiaoqiang so easily just now. And there was no fluctuation in her tone, so he thought it might be someone else, but he could never guess that it would be Lin Feng, because he knew that Lin Feng would not help him. Of course, Lin Feng helped him not to save him, but because he wanted to promote the development of this matter. Lu Qingqing was happy in his heart, but he didn't dare to show it. If he dared to show it, then the person in front of him would never let him go. So he said to you in a very cold way, "Whether I leave or not is not my own business. What does it have to do with you? Do you think I would really like a useless fool like you?" His arrogance was so well acted that Li Xiaoqiang looked like a humble servant in front of him. Li Xiaoqiang knelt down again and begged him, "Miss Lu, you can't leave. If you leave, I will be sad for a month. No, more than 3 months. In my heart, you are basically the same as my goddess. You are a very important person to me. Tell me, what do you want to say? I can let you beat her up." Originally, Lu Qingqing was kidnapped by the other party, but now after being beaten up by the other party, he has successfully turned the other party into a servant. So if he wants to leave now, he only needs to attack the other party. If he keeps attacking the other party will definitely be fooled. That's why he won't satisfy the other party now. After he stood up, he said to Li Xiaoqiang, "You can think about it now. If you don't stop me from leaving, maybe I can give you a contact method after I go out. But if you don't let me leave, if your goddess Lisa knows that you didn't let me go, what will happen to you? You should be very clear, so do you want to try it?" After hearing this, the other party was scared. That's right, Li Xiaoqiang said just now that if you send Lu Qingqing out, you must send a photo to the other party. Otherwise, the other party will not believe it. He forgot this, so if he doesn't let Lu Qingqing go now, he will not only offend Lu Qingqing, but also offend Lisa. It's equivalent to offending both of them at the same time. This is a very devastating blow to him, so he can only say with a deep blow, "I was wrong, Miss Lu. I'll let you go now, But can you teach me a lesson in the end? Let me remember you. After hearing this request from the other party, Lu Qingqing was really speechless. But in order to cooperate with the other party's acting, he could only pretend to be very cold and walked up. Then, he kicked Li Xiaoqiang twice, which finally made the other party remember him thoroughly. Chapter 1332 Don't Let Me Catch You Again. Soon, according to the agreement, Li Xiaoqiang had released Lu Qingqing, but after Lu Qingqing was released, she gave the other party a false message in order to deceive the other party. In other words, the personal contact information was fake. But Li Xiaoqiang did not find out, and she was considered free. After being locked up for a day, Lu Qingqing missed her family. Even his grandfather and brother who were against him were his family after all. After saying goodbye to Li Xiaoqiang, she returned to the Lu family. Of course, the eldest son of the Lu family, who was still looking for his traces outside, did not know about this until he returned to the Lu family and saw a person getting off the car. The whole Lu family was very happy, and someone went in to inform the old man of the Lu family. "Old man, did you see it? Our eldest lady is back, so good." After hearing this, the old man of the Lu family also found the person in his hand. After walking out and seeing the figure of his granddaughter, he also smiled happily. Then he said to Lu Qingqing, "Where did you go, you dead girl? Do you know?" "You heard the old man. Your brother and I have been looking for you for a long time. We are really afraid that you will disappear from now on." After hearing what his grandfather said, Lu Qingqing was also a little surprised. He thought that when he was at home, the first thing he would be blamed by his grandfather. But he didn't expect that the other party would talk to him so kindly, so he smiled, then walked over and said to the old man of the Lu family, "Grandpa, why are you so scared? How could your granddaughter get lost? I just encountered a little trouble, so I didn't come back." Although the old man didn't know what trouble he had encountered, he still felt a little scared after hearing what he said. He knocked on his head with his hand and said, "If you encounter anything in the future, you must tell your family. Do you know? Otherwise, the old man will worry about you in vain." This of course made the other party very happy. He usually pulled his hand and said, "Of course, don't worry." After saying this, they went in. Lu Qingqing asked his grandfather, "Where is my brother? Why isn't he here?" After all, he knew how much his brother doted on him, so he believed that he wouldn't be back for so long. His brother would definitely send someone to look for him. Could it be that he hasn't come back yet? Sure enough, the next second, the old man's answer was, "Do you know that your brother arrested Zhang Yuxi, who came to him on his own initiative, in order to find you? It was the assistant who told me about this just now, otherwise I wouldn't know." After hearing this, Lu Qingqing was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect his brother to be so reckless and didn't arrest Zhang Yuxi directly. This might offend people. So he looked at his grandfather nervously. The old man of the Lu family said, "Grandpa, isn't it a bit bad for us to say this? Let's quickly notify my brother to let him release the person. Otherwise, if that guy retaliates, my brother might be in trouble." After hearing this, the old man of the Lu family sneered. After all, he had heard about the scandal between his precious granddaughter and Zhang Yuxi before, so he naturally said a little unhappy, "Why are you so nervous about that kid? Can your brother eat him? And you don't have to worry about other things after you come back. Grandpa will naturally arrange someone to do it. You go back and change your clothes now." Hearing that his grandfather didn't want to talk to him about Zhang Yuxi at all, Lu Qingqing was also a little surprised. No way, his grandfather suddenly became so strong. In the past, that was the business cooperation, or if he could not offend the people he had dealings with, then his grandfather would try not to offend them. What happened today? Zhang Yuxi doesn't look like someone who is so easy to mess with, right? But the person who spoke here was the old man of the Lu family, and he didn't have the right to speak at all, so he was pushed into his room. Lu Qingqing could only call his brother, the eldest son of the Lu family, in person, hoping to stop things from getting worse. After a while, after the call was connected, the eldest son of the Lu family came from inside and said excitedly, "My dear sister, you finally called your brother. What happened? Where are you? Don't worry about your brother." When he heard that such an important family member of his was worried about his safety, he couldn't help but say, "Of course I'm back. Grandpa asked me to wash up first. Where are you, brother? Come back quickly." After hearing this, the eldest son of the Lu family on the other side was also a little hesitant. He glanced at Zhang Cation, who was threatened by his people. The other party's eyes were a little sarcastic. Perhaps he had heard the content of the conversation. It was Zhang Cation who said coldly, "Now you know that I didn't threaten your sister at all, and you let me go." After hearing Zhang Cation's words, the eldest son of the Lu family gritted his teeth. This guy is not the murderer who caught his sister, but what does it matter? Anyway, he has been caught. Who cares about him so much? So he said, "Do I need a reason to arrest you? Come over and apologize to my sister quickly, otherwise, I will not let you go." After hearing this, Zhang Cation was unwilling. He said unhappily, "Why should I? Haven't you found your sister? Why do you want me to apologize to him?" Although Zhang Cation and Lu Qingqing are in a cooperative relationship, he is unwilling to be wronged in vain. Even if he apologizes on the phone, he will lose face. So his words made the young master of the Lu family even more unhappy, so he kicked him directly and said, "Just apologize if I ask you to apologize? Why are you talking so much nonsense? If you don't apologize, I have plenty of ways to torture you, believe it or not." After hearing this, how could Zhang Cation not believe it? So, he could only grit his teeth and stare at the young master of the Lu family, silently thinking in his heart that when he is free, he must teach this guy a good lesson. He took a deep breath, then took the phone from the other party, and said to the person on the phone, "Are you okay?" He also heard the conversation between the two brothers on the phone just now. He also admired his brother, who was able to teach Zhang Cation a lesson to obey orders. You know, this guy is very arrogant, and basically doesn't listen to anyone. Although he knew he shouldn't laugh, he couldn't help it at this time, and then laughed. Because, no matter what, when he cooperated with Zhang Cation before, he was fooled by this guy. So now seeing him being bullied by his brother, he was still a little happy in his heart. But he pretended to persuade his brother, "Brother, don't be so violent to Mr. Zhang anymore, let's forget about these things." Although this is what he meant, as Lu Qingqing's brother, he certainly knows his sister very well. How could Master Lu not know what his sister Lu Qingqing was thinking? So after hearing the other party's sarcastic words in his voice, he naturally understood. So he jumped up again, punched Zhang Cation on the head, and said to him, "Boy, you are so mean to my sister, I'm giving you a few punches, don't let me catch you again next time." After saying this, he gave the people next to him a look, meaning that they should let him go. After seeing this, everyone nodded. After letting Zhang Cation go, Zhang Cation pointed at the group of people in front of him angrily, and said, "Just wait for the future. I'll let you know how powerful I am." After saying this, he left. After all, if he didn't leave, who knew if these guys would regret it again? Of course, in his heart, Lu Qingqing also had a special relationship with this matter. Regardless of whether Lu Qingqing pleaded for him just now, the final result was that he was beaten by Lu Qingqing's brother again. He wondered if he said this on purpose. But it didn't matter. It was useless to worry about these things after being beaten. Now he could only hope that Lu Qingqing would be more reliable. Wait until tomorrow to tie up Zhang Yuxi, so that Lin Feng's press conference can't go on. So after he left, he still chose to call Lu Qingqing. There was no other way. Since they had already decided to cooperate, there was no point in him being upset now. Chapter 1333, Proceed as planned. After the call was made, Lu Qingqing answered. Of course, he would not mention the incident just now. Although he did find out that his brother was biased towards him just now, and then he taught Zhang Cation a lesson, he was not stupid and knew that the other party must have noticed something. It was good that the other party did not settle accounts with him. How could he go further? So he asked, "Then shall we proceed according to the original plan tomorrow?" After hearing this, Zhang Cation nodded and said, "Yes, let's proceed according to the original plan." But after saying this, Zhang Cation still asked very angrily, "Where did you go today? I have been looking for you all day, but you were tied up by your family and have not been released until now. Shouldn't you give me an explanation?" If he knew that Lu Qingqing deliberately ran to a certain place to disappear, or it was nothing serious and just made him anxious, then he would definitely be very angry. But what Lu Qingqing said next made him a little scared. What Lu Qingqing said was, "I haven't settled accounts with you about this matter yet, you know. The secretary Lisa in your office is so powerful that she actually hired someone to kidnap me, and the one who kidnapped me is the employee in your company. You can go and investigate. Today, there is an employee named Li Zhaoqiang in your company who didn't come to work." After hearing this voice, Zhang Cation was like being struck by lightning, and the whole person was stunned. He muttered to himself, This is impossible. How could it be possible? My secretary is absolutely loyal to me, not to mention that Lisa has been with me for so many years. How could she betray me? This must be wrong, wrong. After hearing his irritable voice, Lu Qingqing just sneered and said, I don't need to joke with you about me being killed all day today. If you don't believe it, there's nothing I can do. But if my plan is ruined by your secretary, don't blame me for not reminding you. After saying this, Lu Qingqing hung up the phone directly. Because he knew how to deal with this matter, Zhang Cation was very clear. Otherwise, as the boss of a company, he would not have lived to this day. He sneered, Damn secretary, you dare to fight with me, do you deserve it with your status? After saying this, he sneered and left. To be honest, if he had not been kidnapped by the dog named Li Xiaoqiang today, he would not have been able to get these words out of the other party's mouth. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame Li Xiaoqiang for not keeping a secret. If you want to say anything else, it is because the person they found themselves as a problem. Anyway, all this is left to Zhang Cation to take care of. Miss Lu will not be hurt by these trivial matters. After Zhang Cation was hung up on the phone, he was not angry, but thinking of the secretary who once admired him and constantly wanted to get his approval. Lisa was actually a traitor in his own company, and he was not feeling well. But soon after he reacted, his face was full of anger, and he said loudly, Lisa, this traitor, secretly messed around behind my back. It seems that this is not the first time he has done such a thing. Let me see how I will deal with him when I go back. After saying this, he took his clothes and went to a nearby clinic to get some medicine, and then drove back to the company. It happened that it was not yet time for the company to get off work at night. Seeing Zhang Cation who had returned, many colleagues stood up and greeted him, Mr. Zhang. Mr. Zhang. Mr. Zhang. Countless people greeted him, but it could be seen that the day in front of them seemed very angry. One by one, no one dared to provoke him again. Even if there was something, it was temporarily postponed. Zhang Cation did not stop at all. He walked directly to the secretary's office, which happened to be on the same floor as his office. After arriving, he kicked the door open and saw Li Xiaoqiang coming back to report to him, and he looked very pitiful, begging him to date him, and Lisa was refusing with a cold face. At this time, Zhang Cation suddenly came in and stopped their conversation. Lisa said happily, Mr. Zhang, when did you come back? But before he finished speaking, he was slapped by Zhang Cation. Lisa, who was slapped by Zhang Cation, didn't dare to stare at her boss's face. The boss's face was very angry, which meant that he must have known something. Suddenly, Lisa became a little scared. Because he knew that Zhang Cation would not target him casually, not to mention that his previous performance towards Zhang Cation would not make him do such a thing. Then the only reason was that he knew what he had done, and he didn't know to what extent. Maybe it was because he knew the past between him and the detective. Maybe it was because he knew what happened today. Whether it was Lu Qingqing's matter or his reconnection with the old detective, it might be the reason why Zhang Cation was angry with him today. So he knelt down with a thud, and said in front of Zhang Cation, Mr. Zhang, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done this, please give me another chance, I won't dare to do it again. Every time he used this trick, and then cried about how much he cared about Zhang Cation, he could make the other party forgive him immediately, but this time this trick didn't work. Zhang Cation caught him directly and said to him, Did I treat you badly before? Although I didn't give you any status, I gave you everything you wanted one by one, but I didn't expect you to betray me like this. Do you know what will happen to so many people who betrayed me? You must know that Zhang Cation's power is not only very large in the entire demon realm, but he himself is also a very ambitious person. For such a person who betrayed him, he must have let him go inadvertently, so after hearing the truth, Lisa became very wrong. She hurriedly said, Boss, I didn't betray you. I just did it because I was jealous of that woman. Boss, please forgive me. I won't dare to do it again. Can I go and apologize to him? After hearing this, Zhang Cation's expression really changed. It turned out that Lisa guessed right. It was because of Lu Qingqing's matter, but he reacted again. Why did Lu Qingqing know? If the person he sent over didn't say anything, then Lu Qingqing wouldn't find any handle on him. So at this time, Lisa looked at Li Xiaoqiang, who was standing next to her and was already scared. She was already extremely angry. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1334. Never take the blame for others. Li Xiaoqiang, this idiot, not only did he not help me get the job done, but he also betrayed me. He let Lu Qingqing get my information and then tell Zhang Cation, so now I am being taught a lesson. If Li Xiaoqiang hadn't said anything, then my boss wouldn't have known about this matter. Now I don't know how to get forgiveness? Because this matter is different from the last one, because this matter is more meaningful to Zhang Cation, so he absolutely does not allow others to insult his plan like this, especially the people around him, which makes him feel very disgusted. So he said, I think you have been in the position of the president's secretary for enough time. Why don't I give you some time to take a good vacation? Rest assured that you are still the mature and obedient secretary in my eyes. But when you come back to the company after your vacation, we will talk about your things. I don't want to teach you a lesson now, because it is a waste of my time. After that, Zhang Cation pushed him to the ground, and Lisa, who had already been slapped, was even more scared. Fortunately, the other party did not slap him again, but Li Xiaoqiang next to him just stood there. Did he say that he liked me, but now, as a man, shouldn't he fight back against his boss? But this man did nothing, just looked at him stupidly, and when Zhang Cation looked over, he was still a little scared and shook his head and said, Boss, I was wrong. Lisa on the ground was desperate and closed her eyes. Sure enough, I couldn't believe this idiot. The useless waste actually compromised so directly. I thought he would struggle a little. It seems that I didn't do anything wrong in not agreeing to him before, so Lisa's eyes looking at Li Xiaoqiang have become very sarcastic. But it doesn't matter. For the other party, being able to stay in this company is the most important thing. But how can Zhang Cation allow someone who has betrayed him to betray him again in the company? In addition to Lisa just now, after all, the other party was once his woman. Even if he wants to deal with it now, he should wait until he calms down before talking about other things. But this guy is just a clown. He kicked him and knocked him to the ground, then said, Get out of here quickly, get out of this company, and never let me see you again, otherwise, I will make it impossible for you to find any job in the entire Magic City. This is not a threat, but a real punishment. After hearing this, Li Xiaoqiang got up quickly without even looking at Lisa, and ran out of the door. After Li Xiaoqiang ran away, Zhang Cation looked at Lisa, and then said to her, You should never affect my plan. Do you know how important tomorrow is to me? It's all because of you that my plan almost fell through. Fortunately, I rescued the person in time, otherwise, I would never forgive you. After saying this, Zhang Cation walked away from him. Anyway, Lisa is of no use to him now, and he has played enough with her before. It doesn't matter to him whether she stays or leaves now. But Lisa's heart is very hateful. She knows who betrayed her. It was that person, the one she believed in. Otherwise, why would Lu Qingqing be sent out? This was all planned. She cried and shouted on the ground, saying, Mr. Zhang, why did you hurt me? I was sincere to you, but you used such means to repay me for my sincerity. After saying this, he stood up. He decided that he would open up at all costs of his life and make the person who betrayed him pay the price. Because he has now tasted the punishment of Zhang Cation, he must also drag someone to follow him and take the blame, and he must not take the blame for others in vain. Just when Lisa was about to carry out a revenge plan. On the other side, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi started shopping again. They didn't have classes today, so after the two left the campus, they naturally went on a date very easily. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lin Feng told Zhang Yuxi, and then said, Don't run around recently. I guess there are a lot of people who want to trouble us recently. Although Zhang Yuxi will not encounter any trouble on campus, it is difficult to guarantee that she will not encounter the same trouble outside. So Lin Feng hoped that during these 2 days, when he was dealing with company matters, Zhang Yuxi would stay in the campus obediently. Or if he really had to go out, he could let the bodyguard follow him, which was also for his own good. After Lin Feng selectively told him these things, Zhang Yuxi nodded and said to Lin Feng in a very obedient manner, Okay, I will listen to your husband. If you say you can't go out, then you won't go out. Last time, I was kidnapped by a guy, which caused you a lot of trouble. I want you to come to me late at night." Looking at Zhang Yuxi's somewhat guilty eyes, Lin Feng couldn't help but kiss him, and then said to him, "Wife, what are you talking about? Isn't it natural for me to come to you? If you are in any danger, then as the closest person to you, I should also come to save you. What's more, that thing was originally the price that guy should pay, but now I still have to tell you a very cruel thing." When Lin Feng said this, he was almost ready to tell everything. When he heard this, Zhang Yuxi said with a little expectation, "It's okay, husband. If you can't say it, you don't have to sue me. Anyway, you know, I like to listen to you the most. I am willing to listen to whatever you say." Seeing Zhang Yuxi so well behaved, Lin Feng really couldn't bear it, but he still had to tell him, and then said, "Because the person who is competing with me this time is still Zhang Yuxi. If he wants to harm you, then he will definitely attack you again. That's why I said that if you have nothing to do, don't leave the school. After all, no matter how powerful his people are, it is impossible for them to get into the campus and kidnap you. This is also possible, but I believe that the people around you are not so stupid to watch you being taken away, not to mention that there are my people among my classmates. They know a lot of people, so if they really encounter danger, then the first unlucky ones will definitely be those who followed into the campus and wanted to hurt Zhang Yuxi. I'm not afraid of this. I'm afraid that if Zhang Yuxi wants to go out, she will be easily targeted. After all, classmates are different inside the campus than outside." After realizing the interests involved, Zhang Yuxi nodded. Although she didn't know how Lin Feng prepared for this press conference, she could tell that he was planning something. He seemed to be waiting for Zhang Yuxi to take advantage of Lin Feng's situation. If that was the case, then her husband was really treacherous. Chapter 1335 The Most Important Warning. Looking at Zhang Yuxi, she couldn't help but laugh. Lin Feng asked curiously, he said, "Why are you laughing so happily?" Zhang Yuxi chuckled twice, then said to him, "If my guess is correct, husband, you should have thought of a way to deal with Zhang Yuxi. I didn't know why you let him go before, but you said it was because of other people. But now he continues to target you, you definitely can't let him blackmail you anymore, otherwise it will have an impact on your company." After hearing his wife's suggestion, Lin Feng said with a smile, "My wife is really smart. She was able to guess what I was thinking in such a short time. Of course, I have already thought of a way to deal with him, and it will ruin his reputation. Doesn't he want to compete with us? Then the best way to defeat him is not to teach him a lesson again, but to beat him up directly like last time. He can kneel down and beg for mercy, and in the end he came out after lying in the hospital for a while. But it's different now. I have completely cut off his retreat. He will never be able to gain a foothold in the business world again, then he's finished. This is a very good opportunity to strike a blow to his business rivals. At the same time, it can also make the other party unable to climb ashore forever." Lin Feng had this feeling before. It's just that it's not so pleasant to use. But now this method is enough for him to be happy for a while. Zhang Yuxi hugged his arm and said happily, "Husband, you are really amazing." When he said this, Zhang Yuxi still said a little disappointedly, "But most of the time I can't be by your side. I was thinking that if something like this happens, I can also face it with you. That would be great." After hearing this, Lin Feng couldn't help laughing and said, "My silly wife, how can you think like this? You can't even hide from those troubles, how can you face them head-on? Isn't this worrying me? So don't worry, I am a person who is better than ordinary people in both brain and body. So I can deal with these dangers and troubles." What Lin Feng said was not a lie. Because he was indeed as he said, with his IQ and his body transformation, few people were destined to be his opponents, and now the only one who could compete with him fiercely, Zhang Yuxi, was about to step down. He was looking forward to it very much. On the other side, Lisa determined her revenge plan. Although Zhang Yuxi kicked him out, he knew what Zhang Yuxi's next plan was. So, he made another phone call. Anyway, he knew several business rivals of Zhang Yuxi. As long as he sold this secret to the other party, he would not only get a sum of money, but he could also hit Zhang Yuxi. Although he still didn't understand it, if he hadn't betrayed Zhang Yuxi first, the other party wouldn't be so ruthless to him. But he still couldn't figure out why everyone he cared about in the world would betray him, whether it was Detective Qin Leke or his boss Zhang Yuxi. These people should have been under his pomegranate skirt. But they had to bully him one by one, so how could Lisa not resist? After hearing the advice Lisa gave them, several other business tycoons were very happy. Unexpectedly, this woman who always regarded Zhang Yuxi as her god would betray his boss. But the benefits brought to them by this kind of thing made them willing to accept it. So, several business tycoons thought that Lisa was the first to tell them about this. So they have decided to make trouble at Lin Feng's press conference. This is not just Zhang Yuxi's patent. So everyone must not let Zhang Yuxi continue like this. Some people even have new ideas for Lisa. I say, beautiful Lisa, you have betrayed Zhang Yuxi. Why don't you join our company, and I will never treat you unfairly. I will give you at least 1 million yuan in salary every year. How about it? Is this enough to make you tempted? After hearing this, Lisa rolled her eyes. He has seen everything and received everything from Zhang Yuxi. During the period when he was most successful, he made hundreds of thousands of yuan every month. Not to mention such a small matter as an annual salary of 1 million yuan, so he didn't care about what the other party said, but said coldly, if you don't plan to seize this good opportunity again, and regret it or still have the same plan, then it is very likely that it will be taken away by others, because I have told this news to more than one person. And the others should choose to do the same. Let's see who can succeed at that time. After hearing this, the big businessman on the phone said angrily, how can a woman do this? You agreed to tell me the news, but you told several people at the same time. Is there any benefit in doing this? After hearing the truth, Lisa couldn't help laughing, and then said, you have to understand one thing, that is, this news is in my mouth, I can tell whoever I want to tell, and I will never be held legally responsible, so do you understand? I actually want to retaliate against them. Naturally the more people the better, and those of you who want to make money can take advantage of my idea to make a fortune, but if any of you are slow, then you can only blame yourself. Can you blame me? Of course not, so until now, because whoever acts faster can make money, this is the most important warning we give you. After saying this, he hung up the phone directly. Because he felt that there was no need to talk nonsense with these people. If they can act quickly, they will naturally be able to break into the tucation. At the same time, they can form an alliance with Lin Feng. This is a very good business plan, but if they can't do it, then they can only become fertilizer. This is the cruelest and most real phenomenon in the business world, so Lisa didn't feel that she did anything wrong. The businessman who was hung up took a breath and reacted. If he hesitated any longer, he would definitely miss this opportunity. What he may not be able to do is to act quickly. This matter has been heard by another person, that person is Lin Feng, high school classmate Li Tian. After hearing the news, the other party's face was very ugly. Then he said to his subordinates, why didn't you tell me this news earlier? I didn't expect it to be spread so widely. Although he was not in front of Lin Feng, he was also very concerned about Lin Feng. Lin Feng's business rivals are really disgusting. They all took advantage of such an opportunity to attack Lin Feng. Chapter 1336, Confident. Li Tian immediately notified his subordinates and said, you should quickly tell Lin Feng the news and tell him what to do. Don't let those who want to take advantage of the situation get a good deal here. Because he also inherited his father's company, he knew how to manage these people. Yes, Mr. Li. The subordinates were very obedient and immediately took care of these things. After that, Lin Feng did receive the news from Li Tian, but he laughed when he heard him say that. Because he didn't care about the news at all. It was useless to him anyway if more people knew it, but he couldn't ignore the advice of his good friend. He said gratefully, thank you, but I believe that we don't need to worry about this matter. Naturally, there will be people who worry more than us. After saying this, although he didn't point out who would do this, listening to his words, Li Tian could understand that Lin Feng probably had a plan in mind. Otherwise, he would have been anxious to ask for his help. From the moment he met Lin Feng, he knew that Lin Feng was a man who was particularly good at planning. Even though he went to college, or his company was already so large, he was still able to remain calm when encountering problems. Since you said so, I won't worry so much about you, but since we are all brothers, if you need help with anything, just tell me. I may not help you, as long as I can help. Remembering this affection, he also kept it in his heart. Zhang Yuxi, who was next to him, heard him making a phone call, as if he was talking about their high school classmates, so Zhang Yuxi came over and asked him, what's wrong? It's our former classmate. Did anyone contact you? Lin Feng smiled, and then said, it's Li Tian. He told me something about my press conference the day after tomorrow. After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, "You had a very good relationship with him when you were in high school. He is not in Shanghai now, and he is very concerned about your affairs. If you are free, let him come back to Shanghai, and we can have a meal together." Lin Feng nodded. He just had such a plan. After his company produces the first batch of medicine, he will be able to have a good reunion with his old classmates. But he doesn't know how the sales will be. Because the batch he produced can prolong life. It is the first time that it is produced on a large scale in the market, and so many media have been mobilized. I just don't know how much market share it can get. However, Lin Feng is not very worried. Anyway, this batch of medicine is just the first batch of his experiment. Lin Feng nodded and said, "Don't worry, we will definitely be able to have dinner with Li Tian. It's just that my company is still confirming the time for the new product launch conference, and the researchers in the laboratory building have also been working overtime recently. I hope that after the first batch of products are successfully produced, the hard work will not be in vain." Suddenly I remembered another Xiao Chen whom I had sponsored before, and his sister Xiao Ro. I don't know how they are now. They should be doing well in the laboratory. He hasn't been back to the laboratory these 2 days. I plan to go back tomorrow to take a look. After all, the demand is very high, which will definitely make the researchers in the laboratories so busy that they will not even have time to eat. I plan to buy something to reward them. On the other side, after the eldest son of the Lu family returned to the Lu family, he asked his sister to come to see him as soon as he entered the door. The assistant of the old man next to him said to him, "The old man has just said that the eldest lady should go upstairs to rest first. If there is anything, you have to wait until the eldest lady has rested before mentioning it. So, young master, if it is not an urgent matter, just put it aside for now, lest you make the old man unhappy." But after hearing what he said, the eldest son of the Lu family was very anxious. "What do you mean it is not very urgent? I think this matter is very urgent, okay?" Exclamation mark. He said loudly, "I say, Uncle Assistant, don't make trouble in front of me. I want to find my sister, the matter is very urgent, you quickly let me see him. Otherwise, he will harm our entire Lu family." This made the assistant start to speculate. He asked the young master of the Lu family with some doubts, "What do you mean by this? Young master, what do you mean by having a very close relationship with our Lu family? Does the eldest lady contact some dubious people outside?" The previous incident was because Lu Qingqing was working with Zhang Caishan outside, and the old man of the Lu family was very angry. When he thought that it was possible that this matter was still going on, then it would be really endless if he knew it. So the assistant's first reaction after hearing about this matter was, of course, to tell his master, the old man of the Lu family, about it. The young master of the Lu family hurriedly said, "Yes, how could I lie to you? You have watched me grow up since I was a child. You know, I am indeed a dandy boy in terms of eating, drinking and having fun, but I am in the Lu family compound, and I am of the same mind as everyone else, and I will never harm our Lu family." It is impossible for the assistant to hide this kind of thing about the Lu family for Lu Qingqing and then harm the entire Lu family. So, he said to the young master of the Lu family, "Okay, young master. Since you are so sure, I will take you to see our old man now. Since Miss Lu doesn't want to tell you, then we won't look for him." In the final analysis, now the assistant also has some opinions about Lu Qingqing. "We are all from the Lu family, why do you have to do this? And he didn't tell his family about what he did. Isn't this going to ruin the entire Lu family with him?" Although the last incident did not make Lin Feng punish the Lu family so much, it does not mean that Lin Feng will stop there in the future. This kind of thing can only happen once and not twice. So when the assistant took the young master of the Lu family to the old man, the other party just got up, and then looked at the two people and asked curiously, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" Chapter 1337, Mistakes Again and Again. As soon as the old man of the Lu family finished speaking, the eldest son of the Lu family rushed over and said to him, "Grandpa, please take care of my sister. If you don't, our Lu family will be finished." I have already told Lin Feng about his plan with Zhang Caishan. After saying this, the old man felt that his heart was about to collapse. He calmed down for a long time and took a heart-saving pill, which stabilized his illness. Then the assistant next to him looked at his eldest son in disbelief, and said, "What's going on, eldest son? Didn't you just say that you don't want our eldest lady to make the same mistake again? Why did you take the initiative to contact Lin Feng? This is not a joke. After listening to what he said, the eldest young master of the Lu family nodded and said, of course I know this matter is not a joke. If I don't tell him, then when they find out that there is a problem with us, do you think he will take care of our Lu family? But it's different now. At least I have told him what happened. Then he will more or less give me face and not bother with the Lu family. This is the only thing I can say. The old man of the Lu family also reacted all at once and realized why his grandson did this, so after he knew it, he could only sigh silently, and then said, this is all a sin. I didn't expect that I would raise such a useless granddaughter. After saying this, the assistant next to him hurried to comfort him, and then said, Grandpa, don't be too angry. The eldest lady did something wrong in this matter, but at least we have discovered it and it is still not too late to remedy it. As long as we can stop the eldest lady from continuing to cooperate with Zhang Yuxi, then we won't be dealt with by Lin Feng, and the Lu family will not be in trouble. After hearing what he said, the old men shook their heads, then sighed and said, you are really naive. How do you know that Lin Feng will spare our Lu family this time like before? If he is really so good, then I don't have to worry before. So now that things are like this, there is no way to remedy it. The only way is to hand over our ungrateful eldest daughter to Lin Feng for disposal, and let him take the initiative to sever ties with our Lu family. In this way, what path can be taken to protect oneself? After hearing this, the assistant was a little surprised. I didn't expect that as a grandfather, he would actually throw his granddaughter out now. Doesn't that mean that the eldest daughter of the Lu family, Lu Qingqing, will be left to fend for herself? Although this approach is very ugly, the assistant can also see the expression of reluctance on the face of his old man. But in the end they didn't find any other way to solve this matter. The only way is to do as he said just now. Otherwise, it would be meaningless for the entire Lu family to suffer. The eldest son of the Lu family next to him was also dumbfounded. After all, the eldest son of the Lu family did not want his sister to be abandoned by their family like this, so he said to his grandfather, Grandpa, can we give my sister another chance? Wouldn't it be bad to deal with him like this? But after hearing what the eldest son of the Lu family said, the old man Lu almost couldn't hold his breath, and then roared at him. He said to him, have you forgotten? When you were very young, I told you that those who achieve great things are not particular about trivial matters, and what extent a man should do. Do you still need me to teach you? Now that I have said this, if you don't do what I say, then the things you want to protect will not be protected at all. As for your sister, she brought it upon herself. Do you want me, an old man, to bear it for her? I can bear it for her the first time, can I bear it for the second time? Indeed. Before, the old man Lu had already warned Lu Qingqing, but Lu Qingqing still made her own decision. It is impossible for the entire Lu family to apologize with him now. So it would be best to expel him from the Lu family directly. Young Master Lu felt a little uncomfortable, because he thought things had not reached such a serious point, but now it has become like this. And his grandfather was very calm and knew what to do and what not to do. No matter how angry he was, it was useless, so he sighed. What he thought in his heart was that if this was the case, then his sister would probably be really finished. No. He must not let his sister come to their family and accept all this. He must let his sister leave now. So he decided to tell his sister about this, but young Master Lu did not change at all on the surface, and said to his grandfather, yes, Grandpa, you are right, I haven't even figured this out, I won't in the future. After saying this, Mr. Lu was too lazy to argue with him anymore. Mr. Lu was probably tired, so he said to his grandson, okay, go down first, I'll call you when I have something to say. It happened that the eldest son of the Lu family wanted to escape from his own barrier, so he nodded and left. As soon as he left, he immediately went to find Lu Qingqing. At this time, Lu Qingqing was still having dinner with Zhang Yuxi outside, and she didn't know that she had been expelled from her family. It was just that the time had not come yet, so the eldest son of the Lu family, who knew that his sister was emotional, immediately ran over and said to him, come here, I have something very important to tell you. Looking at the eldest son of the Lu family, who suddenly appeared in the restaurant and interrupted his lunch with Zhang Yuxi, Lu Qingqing wiped her mouth very elegantly, and then said nonchalantly, I thought it was someone else, it turned out to be my brother, what do you want to talk to me about? If you want to persuade me not to cooperate with Zhang Yuxi, then I will not agree to your request. After hearing this, the eldest young master of the Lu family was about to get angry. It was already so late, and this guy was still thinking about cooperating with Zhang Yuxi. Did he know that he was desperate now? That's right. He hadn't told his sister Lu Qingqing about this yet, so he said loudly, "Wake up. Do you think that people in our family don't know about what you did? Besides me, Grandpa's people are also looking for you." So when he knew that you were still cooperating with this guy, he told him directly, "When you go back, you will be expelled from the Lu family. From now on, you will no longer be our eldest lady of the Lu family. Do you know that?" After hearing this, Lu Qingqing looked at her brother in disbelief. He never thought that such a thing would happen to him. Why would it be like this? He shouldn't be abandoned by his own family. This was a huge blow to him. So he shook his hand and said, "No, brother, you are lying to me, right? I don't believe this is true. I want to see Grandpa." Chapter 1338 The Best Way. Unable to bear the blow, Lu Qingqing planned to go to Grandpa Lu. But after hearing this, young Master Lu quickly stopped him and said, "That's enough. Didn't I tell you clearly enough just now? If you go now, you will be kicked out of the house instead. But if you go out and hide for a while, you can definitely wait until Grandpa is no longer angry, and there will be room for easing this matter." Looking at his brother's very serious face, Lu Qingqing still didn't want to believe it and said to his brother, "Are you lying to me? Brother, you don't want me to cooperate with Zhang Yuxi either, right? I won't cooperate with him. Tell me the actual truth is not like this, right?" Unfortunately, his brother shook his head and said to him, "Since you offended Lin Feng, Grandpa may have warned you." No, he didn't want to believe that all this was true. It must be because his brother wanted to stop what was happening now, so he deliberately made up such a lie to deceive himself. He pushed the eldest son of the Lu family away and wanted to go back to the Lu family by taxi, but was stopped by his brother. He said, "Wake up, it's useless for your sister to go back now. I'm your brother, how could I lie to you about this kind of thing? Can you wake up? Don't escape from reality anymore, it will only be worse when you go back. This is the only thing I can do for you, you should hide quickly." After hearing this, Lu Qingqing collapsed completely. She didn't expect that she had been expelled from the Lu family before she had time to deal with Lin Feng. Then what's next? In fact, there is no way for her to use her identity as the eldest daughter of the Lu family to do many things. After saying this, he felt that the sky was about to fall. The eldest son of the Lu family also understood his thoughts, and then said to him, "I know you are in pain now, but it doesn't matter. I can let you live in the villa I bought in the suburbs temporarily. It shouldn't be found in that place. If it is, I will cover it for you. Now what you have to do is stay in that place well, don't go in and make any rash moves, wait for me to notify you, understand?" After hearing this, Lu Qingqing cried and shook her head, she didn't want to accept it. At this time, Zhang Yuxi next to her stood up and said very seriously, "Are you telling the truth? He has been kicked out of the Lu family, so my plan is over." The eldest son of the Lu family heard that this guy dared to say this, and he was so angry that he punched the other party and said to him, "It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, how could my sister become like this and be kicked out of the family?" Zhang Yuxi had been dissatisfied with the eldest son of the Lu family for so long. After hearing this, he became even angrier. He said to the eldest son of the Lu family, "If it weren't for you guys who have been interfering with my and Lu Qingqing's plans, he wouldn't have to live like this now. In the final analysis, it's all because of you, as a brother, meddling in other people's business. Now you're blaming me instead. Do you have the nerve to do that?" The two started arguing again. Seeing that they were arguing so fiercely, Lu Qingqing said to them, "Okay, whether it's you, brother, or Zhang Yuxi, both of you stop arguing. Now that I've been expelled from the Lu family, I accept it. Anyway, I won't go back home. No, I won't give up the fight with Lin Feng." After hearing his sister talking nonsense, the eldest son of the Lu family said to him, "What else do you want? Didn't you hear that Grandpa has already issued the final punishment for you? If you do something stupid again, maybe he won't let you stay in the entire Magic City." After hearing his brother's words of persuasion, he said indifferently, "No matter what you say, I have already determined that since Lin Feng can reject me, he can reject me a second time, so I have to humiliate him before he does. This is what I want to do. No matter what I do in the future, it has nothing to do with the Lu family." It must be said that Lu Qingqing's current thinking is very dangerous and has reached a point where it cannot be saved. Originally, the eldest son of the Lu family thought that his sister would not be like this, but now, for some reason, it has reached a point where no one can change his thinking. He blamed all of this on Zhang Yuxi, so he said to Zhang Yuxi, "You damn guy, if I can, I really want to kill you." After saying this, Zhang Yuxi also felt that this guy was not a good person. He raised his fist and said, "You want to kill me, so I want to kill you too. Do you really think that my Zhang family is afraid, but your Lu family is not?" Anyway, as he was talking, the two of them were about to fight again. At this time, Lu Qingqing said to them, "If you two continue to talk like this, then I will not contact you anymore, whether it is you or Zhang Yuxi." When he said this, Zhang Yuxi sneered and said, "Do you think you are still qualified to contact me now? Whether you contact me or not, don't forget one thing, that is, you can no longer participate in our current plan. Because you are no longer the eldest lady of the Lu family, no matter whether you will pose a threat to Lin Feng after participating, you can't protect yourself. Do you think you will inevitably participate in this plan?" After hearing this, Lu Qingqing's eyes revealed a struggle. The other party was right. If he insisted on dealing with Lin Feng, then there was only one result, that he might not even be able to save his life. Is he really going to give up like this? He is really unwilling now. He said to the young master of the Lu family, "Brother, I have no other way to go now. Lin Feng has forced me to this point. What else can I do except to deal with him? So brother, don't persuade me anymore." He also understood the timid mind of the young master of the Lu family, so he did not force him to help him, but only asked him not to stop him. After hearing this, the young master of the Lu family also understood that there was no way to pull his sister back, so he could only say, "Well, although I can't support you, I can no longer interfere with your decision. If you regret it, you can come to me." After saying this, the young master of the Lu family glared at Zhang Yuxi fiercely again. Because all this happened because of Zhang Yuxi. If it weren't for him, at least his sister wouldn't be like this now. After saying this, the young master of the Lu family turned around and left. He was indeed a coward. He couldn't afford to lose, and there was no way for him to afford to lose, so leaving now was the best way. Chapter 1339. I'm really unwilling to accept this. Lu Qingqing could never have imagined that her brother's tricks were still the same. That is, after leaving, he ran outside and called Lin Feng. Lin Feng, who received the call, was a little curious about why this guy came to harass him again. The other party said, "Mr. Lin, I have successfully persuaded my sister. She will not bother you anymore. I hope you can teach Zhang Yuxi a lesson now." The reason why he made this call was because he wanted Lin Feng to take the lead and then get rid of Zhang Yuxi, so that Lu Qingqing would have no partners to cooperate with. Although such a lie is risky, for Lin Feng, whether it is to get rid of his sister or Zhang Yuxi, it's just a matter of order. So this lie should not be very outrageous. So after he said this, Lin Feng thought about it and said to him, "Okay, since you have given me such important information, I will send my men to check it out." But after mentioning this, the eldest young master of the Lu family was a little uneasy. How could this be? In the final analysis, if Lin Feng didn't send someone to deal with Zhang Yuxi now, he was worried that his sister would be unlucky with Zhang Yuxi. So he proposed a very good plan to Lin Feng. "Mr. Lin, I know you must not believe what I said, so you let someone try, but if you are willing to give me the power, then I can help you deal with Zhang Yuxi. He definitely can't imagine that he will appear in your press conference. So I am a very unexpected person." After saying this, Lin Feng was really moved by his IQ, because he didn't expect such a dandy boy to think of so many good ways for his sister. Since the other party said so, he could give the other party a chance. So he nodded and said, "Okay, I'll give you a chance, it depends on whether you can grasp it." After getting Lin Feng's affirmation, he was very happy, because it meant that Lin Feng handed over the power to him to deal with Zhang Yuxi, so he said to Lin Feng, "Mr. Lin, I am your subordinate now, so can I mobilize some people?" After hearing this, Lin Feng was of course unwilling to give him many people. Who knows what he is thinking? So, Lin Feng thought for a while, and then said to him, "If you want someone, then you can go back and discuss it with your grandfather. I believe that if you tell him your plan, he will know what to do." After hearing this, the eldest young master of the Lu family was still a little unhappy, because he understood that Lin Feng was doing nothing. Although he believed his words, He did not make a decision for himself, which was equivalent to nothing. So he thought about how to drag Lin Feng into the water as well. No. It is absolutely not possible to just let it go. So, he said to Lin Feng again, Mr. Lin, why don't you call my grandfather, because if I go and tell him, then my grandfather will definitely not listen to me, or he will think that I am deliberately making excuses for my sister. Anyway, he is not a brainless guy, so he knows that if Lin Feng uses him as a gun, then he must pay a price, otherwise it won't work. After hearing the conversation, Lin Feng on the other side thought for a while, and then nodded. Although he really didn't want to deal with such a small matter himself, the other party had already put forward such a condition. If he didn't do it, this guy might really be unwilling to come forward. Anyway, this guy is also a good chess piece. If he can use it, it's not bad, so he nodded and said, okay, since you are willing, then I can call your grandfather and tell you what your grandfather should do next. After saying this, Lin Feng hung up the phone, and then called the Lu family, and the old man of the Lu family answered the phone. He looked at Lin Feng with some surprise, and then said, why is it Mr. Lin who called me? Don't you have any other plans today? After hearing his greetings, Lin Feng shook his head and said, it's like this. I just met your grandson, the eldest young master of the Lu family, and he told me that there is an opportunity to implement it. So what I am thinking now is to send your Lu family's forces over there and reinforce him. As for the specific plan, you can ask him. After hearing this, Mr. Lu couldn't believe it, because he didn't expect that the eldest young master Nokia would secretly run over to discuss with Lin Feng behind his back. This matter is not ordinary. If it is a small matter, it's fine. If it is a big matter, wouldn't it be a failure to discuss it well and implicate their entire Lu family? Fortunately, Lin Feng did not have any aversion to their Lu family now, so when there were many people here, he said, in that case, then thank you, Mr. Lin. Although this matter was settled, the old man of the Lu family still had to summon the eldest young master of the Lu family back. We need to find out what happened. How can we just leave this matter to the young master of the Lu family without anyone knowing? Who knows if he will mess it up? Mr. Lu said to the assistant next to him, call the young master now and ask him to come back. Give him an hour. No later than a moment. Got it. The assistant nodded quickly and walked out. Mr. Lu also felt that the young master of the Lu family always went to tell bigger people without his permission when doing things. What if he offended others? If this happened again, he must teach the young master of the Lu family a lesson. Including the purpose of his doing it, it is very likely for his sister. After saying this, Mr. Lu became even more angry. After about 40 minutes, Lu Chen came back. Seeing his grandfather waiting for him in the living room with a hint of anger on his face, he walked over and knelt down. He said to him, Grandpa, you called me back in such a hurry. Mr. Lin should have called you just now because of something. Did he tell you my plan? He asked me to tell you that you have to support me with all your strength, so that we can deal with Zhang Yuxi together. When he said this, the other party slapped him in the face, making him dizzy. Chapter 1340, Really Powerless. Mr. Lu said bluntly, what's wrong with you? Didn't I tell you before? If you encounter any problems, you must come back home to discuss with us first. And you dared to tell Master Lin directly behind my back. If there is anything else in the future, then you will do the same. So now tell me the reason. When he heard Mr. Lu's serious voice, the young master of the Lu family already knew where he was wrong. It was not the first time that he went beyond his own vision and contacted Lin Feng. But every time he got it, he could not let him know the existence of his grandfather, but was taught a lesson by the other party. So he understood that if he could not make his grandfather satisfied with his apology this time, he would definitely not have the opportunity to go out next time. Maybe it would be impossible to meet Lin Feng. So he pleaded with his grandfather, Grandpa, I was wrong. Isn't it for the good of the Lu family that I did this? Isn't everything I did for myself? Grandpa, please forgive me this time. But after hearing what he said before, Mr. Lu looked at him speechlessly and said, do you really think I don't know what you are thinking? Don't you just want to plead for your sister and want Lin Feng to let him go? I tell you that this is impossible. Even if Mr. Lin lets your sister go, I won't. After hearing this, the eldest young master of the Lu family felt very confused. He didn't know why his grandfather was targeting his sister like this. Can't he give Lu Qingqing another chance? But when he looked at Mr. Lu, the other's eyes had already told him that there would be no such chance in the end. The assistant next to him was afraid that the grandfather and grandson would really quarrel, so he came out. He persuaded the eldest young master of the Lu family and said, "Young master, don't get angry with the master." The eldest young master of the Lu family also understood that he couldn't beat his sister, so he didn't talk back. But the old man of the Lu family in front of him did not believe him, and said to his assistant, "You help me watch him, you can't let him contact King again at this time, otherwise, our entire Lu family will be unlucky with him." After saying this, it can be seen how much the old man of the Lu family is on guard against Lu King, which makes the young master of the Lu family helpless. This time, it's not that he is unwilling to help his sister, but because he is really powerless. The assistant next to him can't do anything and can only watch him. After a while, the assistant took the precious grandson of the old man Lu Jian back to his own room. Anyway, the young master Lu can't do anything now, so tell others that he wants to pass a message to Lu King. On the other side, Lu King, who has confirmed the cooperation with Zhang Yuxi, once again proposed the plan they had agreed on before, and then he said to Zhang Yuxi, "Since I am no longer the eldest lady of the Lu family, we should come up with a big one now." To be honest, in order to avenge this face, Lu King also directly gave herself up. Originally, he didn't have much chance of winning, but now he has put all his confidence on the line. After hearing what he said, Zhang Yuxi said to him hesitantly, "Are you sure? If you really do this, you will probably be in big trouble." The main reason is that he is afraid that this guy may say nice things, but he will be scared when he really uses real guns in actual combat. After hearing what he said, the other party shook his head, showing a strange smile, and then said, "How is it possible? Lin Feng owes me too much? I can't let him go. Between us, since we have already agreed, there is no regret. You may regret it if you dare to regret it. Then I will expose all your affairs. You should understand. Although Lin Feng and his people now know what they are going to do, there is one thing. That is, except for this person, no one else knows, but if it makes a big fuss, then Zhang Yuxi is really finished." Seeing Lu King so sure, of course he would not refuse. So, he nodded and said, "Okay, as long as you have the confidence, then I will accompany you this time. I will sign a contract with you now. Otherwise, how can I know whether what you said is effective?" Although Lu King does not have the Lu family to back him up now, this does not mean that he has this contract. Even if he wants to default on his debt, he can't. After hearing what he said, Lu King's expression became ferocious. He didn't expect that this guy would calculate so much for him. He snorted coldly, then turned around and left. He signed the contract, but he was not afraid of the other party. On the other side, because Lisa, the secretary who already knew all of Zhang Yuxi's plans, had made a document of everything he knew and passed it to several people who had business dealings with Zhang Yuxi. These people should be very clear about how to make the event of the day after tomorrow as big as possible. This is related to the two companies. The first is that Lin Feng's company has not yet been listed. If this matter becomes more and more serious, then Lin Feng's company is likely to come to an end in terms of listing. The second thing is about Zhang Yuxi. If he is caught now, he will be charged for stealing the other party's patent and inventing his own product. This crime is very serious, and he will also be held legally responsible. So neither of them will feel good. He wants to make these two forces fight to the death, so that he can avenge himself. However, although some people will be fooled, not all people are fools. Some people understand why he gave them the document, so they will definitely not do as he wishes so easily. So this is the second time that Secretary Lisa came out of her hotel. He looked back at the hotel with anger in his eyes. But there is no way, because this is his own choice. If he says he doesn't want to do this, then no one can force him, because there are still many places for him to go after he resigns. In order to retaliate against his previous boss Zhang Yuxi, he paid more than before. But he also has several other pieces of evidence in his hands, that is, the harm these people have done to him, and he has recorded or videotaped all of them. Even if these people wanted to regret it later, he had the evidence in his hands and it was impossible for him to deny it. He limped forward. Horizontal ellipsis. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1341. I'll give you another chance. At this time, several vans suddenly came on the road, and several men got off from them, very fierce. And they all had sticks in their hands. The men surrounded him, and one of them said to him, "You didn't expect this day to come. You offended so many bosses, do you still want to leave alive?" Zhang Yuxi would of course be wary of this traitor Lisa who betrayed him, so when he found out that this guy actually gave his company's secrets to several companies, which were also his competitors, he had already asked these gangsters he knew to trouble him. He looked at these people nervously and said, "What do you want? It's daytime now. If you are filmed by the surveillance cameras around here, you will be taken to the orange." Lisa originally wanted to say this to warn him not to mess around, but unexpectedly, after hearing this, they sent a few people to the side to check if there were any surveillance cameras nearby. If there were, then they would knock down the surveillance first. Anyway, if there was no road administration, it would be impossible to catch them all. Now Lisa was alone, but there were 7 or 8 burly men in front of her. She shrank back in fear, but he was wearing high heels. In addition, he had just come out of the hotel not long ago, so he couldn't run away at this moment, so he said to these people, "Please spare me. You can ask me to do anything you want, we can solve it privately." There are many ways to solve this privately, and everyone is of course very clear about it. However, for those who have received money, it is not okay to solve it privately. These people did not let her settle it privately with other actions, and Lisa was very angry. She said to everyone, "If you really want to force me, then I won't let you succeed." Rather than letting them come to have other intentions against him, it is better for him to destroy himself first. I don't know when he actually took out a small knife from his body. Seeing him like this, everyone laughed at him and said, "Are you kidding us? It's just a small knife. You can't hurt yourself. So put down the knife and follow us. At least you can suffer less pain." After saying this, all the hooligans laughed. Because they all thought that Lisa in front of them must be joking with them, and she couldn't do anything to hurt herself. But unexpectedly, the next second Lisa actually used the knife in his hand to cut his neck, leaving a bloody mark, and said in a very dangerous voice, "If you come one step closer, I will hurt myself. If you want to take me away at that time, you can only take my body. Do you think it is necessary to do this?" After saying this, everyone was shocked by what he did. Unexpectedly, this guy really seemed to be reckless. Everyone snorted coldly and said, "Okay, since you don't want to go with us, it doesn't matter. We can't touch you, but you have to think clearly. If you don't go with us, the boss will not let you go, and your troubles will only continue one after another. So your resistance now is useless." After hearing this, Lisa knew it, but he was gambling. He was his boss and didn't dare to do it now. The gangsters all got on the car one by one. After they left, Lisa supported her hands on her knees and gasped for breath. There was nothing she could do. It was too dangerous just now, and he almost died here. After a while, he took out all the important things on him and kept them well. He knew that these things could save his life now. If he threw them away, he would be bullied by more people. Of course, the person he hated the most was Zhang Yuxi. He felt that everyone had this kind of relationship, whether it was a relationship between a man and a woman, or a relationship between a boss and a subordinate. As a result, someone had been sent to hurt him. Zhang Yuxi really deserved it, so he didn't feel any guilt for what he had done, and he felt that all this was not enough. The gangsters finally left. When they got into the car, they drove away. At this time, someone in the car said, "But if we go back like this, how can we explain to Mr. Zhang? He will probably be furious." The person driving the car was next to their boss, who said, "How do I know? We can't really bring that woman back injured, otherwise if we bring a corpse back, who knows if he will give us money." "You know," Mr. Zhang said, "but bring back a complete living person." After saying that, everyone sighed. There was no way, this was something everyone knew. Indeed, even if they brought the person back, Zhang Yuxi would be unhappy. Since they didn't give them the money, would they force him to give it? The consequences of doing so would probably be even more serious, so everyone could only go back and tell people about it first. After returning, Zhang Yuxi listened in the office. After these people reported, they were so angry that they threw the documents in their hands directly onto the table and cursed, "What's going on? Didn't I tell you before? You must bring that woman back to me, but you didn't complete it. What happened to the task I assigned to you? That woman has always been cunning. If you really think she will commit suicide later, then you are wrong." This woman would never commit suicide if she just wants to survive, you bunch of trash. After saying this, everyone trembled and dared not speak. Because they all understood that they would be scolded by Zhang Yuxi if they said anything, so they simply gave up resistance. The leader of the gang said, Mr. Zhang, we also took into consideration what you said before, that you had to bring back a living person. What will we eat if we just bring back a dead person? I guess you're not feeling well either. If we can't get the money, then all our work will be in vain, right? That's why we came back to ask you for permission. After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi really wanted to slap the other party. He said loudly, okay, don't make excuses anymore. You don't have the money until the job is done. I'll give you one more chance. Bring him back to me. It doesn't matter if he's alive or missing arms and legs, but he has to be alive. Do you understand? Chapter 1342, Cruel. Indeed, if he brings back a dead person, then he's useless. After hearing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, they asked Zhang Yuxi in advance. Otherwise, this matter would not be over yet. Since they can find out where Lisa is, then it is the same to go to Lisa tomorrow. So after they left Zhang Yuxi's office, they planned to go home first. Anyway, there is no rush for tomorrow's matter. However, the original order Zhang Yuxi gave them was to let them act quickly today and go to find Lisa immediately. It was just because Zhang Yuxi's criticism just now was so serious that these people were very dissatisfied. Since you treat me like this, why should I be a dog there? How can one of them be obedient? If Zhang Yuxi could be a little better to them before, he would not be betrayed by these people like this now. But this has become a fact, and everyone can't say much. On the other side, although Lisa saved his life, he knew that there would be another wave of people coming tonight to take him away. Because he knew that the previous gangsters were scared away because of his momentum. But if he went back to report to Zhang Yuxi, people like Zhang Yuxi would definitely let them come to find him again. This time, he couldn't fool them. So he had to prepare a runway and go to the home of the person who could help him. Zhang Yuxi, since you are not kind, don't blame me for being unjust. This time, I will betray you. Then, I must betray you to the end. Lisa understood very well. This time, it would be useless even if he went to seek refuge with anyone. Because there are very few people in this magic city who are more powerful than Zhang Yuxi. So he could focus on others, and there were only less than 5 people left, one of whom was Zhang Yuxi's biggest opponent, and that person was Lin Feng. So when he was sure now, he had already secretly planned to contact Lin Feng, which was better than dying in the hands of his own people, right? After specifying this point, he thought about how to satisfy and protect himself. But one thing is very important, that is, Lin Feng can't approach him casually. After he had tricked Lin Feng before, Lin Feng must have known that Lisa was a secretary who worked for Zhang Yuxi before. Now she suddenly turned against him. As a business rival, who knows if Lin Feng would suspect that he was Zhang Yuxi and deliberately sent him to influence his performance. This is all uncertain. After all, people in the business world always keep one more eye than others. Therefore, he can't go to see Lin Feng directly. Even if he tells the truth, Lin Feng will not believe it. Now the only way is to meet Zhang Yuxi. Only if Zhang Yuxi helps him pass on the news, then Lin Feng will be willing to listen to him. Otherwise, even if he meets her, it will be useless. Compared with looking for Zhang Yuxi, it is much simpler and easier. Because Zhang Yuxi is in the school. As a school belle of a very famous school, it is very easy to find Lin Feng's girlfriend. Just enter their school. After thinking this through, Lisa packed up and picked a gift for Zhang Yuxi when she went out. After all, she was a college student. No matter how beautiful she was very fond of cosmetics and skincare products, so after he picked these 2 gifts, he believed that the other party would not be able to refuse, and even if he refused, he would not necessarily be so rude to him. Anyway, there must be room for discussion on this matter. After packing up, he went out. Of course, since he was unemployed now, all his money had no stable source, so even if he went to buy cosmetics, he gritted his teeth and bought a set, which cost him more than 10,000 yuan. On weekdays, he would spend 10,000 yuan without blinking an eye, but now he felt a little bit of a pity. After buying the cosmetics, he took a taxi to Zhang Yuxi's university. Just when he bought the cosmetics just now, he checked online to find out which university Zhang Yuxi was the campus belle of. After all, she is very popular. If you look up any post on the internet, You can see that she is ranked first in the ranking of campus beauties in the entire Magic City. So when he arrived at the university, according to his previous understanding of Lin Feng, he also knew that Zhang Yuxi was in the same major as him, so he asked for the direction of the teaching building and walked over. When he arrived at the classroom, it was just the end of their class. All the students looked at the professionally dressed woman standing at the door with great curiosity. I don't know who she is looking for, but her dress and appearance are also very outstanding, so she has aroused the curiosity and scrutiny of many male classmates in the university. But he doesn't have time to show off now. When Zhang Yuxi came out, his eyes lit up and he walked up to stop her from looking at this person. Zhang Yuxi felt a little familiar, but didn't know her, so he asked, "Are you here to see me?" Lisa nodded and said flatteringly, "I am here to see you. We have met before. At a party before, you were with Raymond Lam, so I saw you at that time, but you didn't know me." After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi nodded, but he was not very interested in what he said. After all, he didn't know the other party at all. What could the other party find him for? The classmate next to him said to Zhang Yuxi, "Then I'll wait for you next to you. You talk to this person first." It can be seen that it must be something urgent, otherwise, Lisa wouldn't have such an impatient look on her face. Zhang Yuxi nodded. After watching the classmates leave, he turned to Lisa and said, "Madam, if you have anything to say, please tell me quickly. My time is limited." This is not because Zhang Yuxi deliberately said how noble he was. It's because he didn't want to get involved in Raymond Lam's business affairs. And generally speaking, if someone comes to me directly because of Lin Feng's matter, then it's probably not a good thing. So it's better not to meet this kind of person. If they are really Lin Feng's friends, then they must have made an appointment with me before meeting. This kind of person who suddenly comes to me is probably not a good thing. Chapter 1343 Second-Rate Family. But Zhang Yuxi did guess right. Lisa handed the set of skincare products worth more than 10,000 yuan to Zhang Yuxi, and then said to him, "This is a gift I prepared for you. Although it is not very precious, it is also a little thought from me. Please accept it." Zhang Yuxi took a look and understood how much this set of cosmetics was worth in the market. However, he did not accept it, but shook his head and said, "That's not necessary. If you have anything to say, just tell me. I won't accept gifts." Zhang Yuxi is not a vain person, nor is she a person who seeks petty gains. In addition, if he really needs something, then his boyfriend Lin Feng will definitely buy it for him, instead of asking a stranger to give him such a precious thing. Seeing Zhang Yuxi's official tone, Lisa couldn't help but smile awkwardly, and then said, "It's like this. I want you to help me tell Lin Feng a message and tell him that I am willing to tell him everything about Zhang Cation, and I just hope he can let me go, because I am someone close to Zhang Cation, but I betrayed him after experiencing some things. From now on, Zhang Cation is no longer my boss, and I hope to take the initiative to join Lin Feng's side." This sentence still has a lot of information, so Zhang Yuxi paused and hesitated. No wonder the other party would ask me out alone instead of looking for me through a man. It turned out that he had other purposes. Zhang Yuxi blinked her eyes, and then said to him, "Okay, I will help you convey your words, but as for what my boyfriend says, that is his own business. I can't guarantee that he will agree." After hearing Zhang Yuxi's words, Lisa also understood that this might be his delaying tactic for her, and it might be that he didn't want to convey his words to Lin Feng at all. It doesn't matter, you always have to try your luck. The other party did not accept his gift, which means that the other party either sincerely felt that it was unnecessary to give gifts, or it was because the other party did not want to do this for him. In any case, he still placed his hopes on Zhang Yuxi. Because apart from Zhang Yuxi, he felt that there was no one in the entire Demon City who was more suitable than Lin Feng to be his backer. At least after he took refuge with Lin Feng, he no longer had to worry about Zhang Cation coming to retaliate against him all the time, although the possibility of this was not very high. Even if Zhang Cation knew that he had become Lin Feng's side, he could still send someone to retaliate against him if he wanted to, but the probability of success would probably be much lower. This was the point he really relied on, but now Zhang Yuxi's answer to him was ambiguous, so he was still unwilling in his heart, but he did not dare to force Zhang Yuxi too much. You know, he is not the person who was still by Zhang Cation's side before, thinking that Zhang Yuxi was a soft persimmon he wanted to control, but now it is different, so even if Zhang Yuxi did not give him an answer now. But he didn't dare to harass Zhang Yuxi too much, so he just left. This is not a solution, Why not try again? He thought to himself, just when he had no idea. A person came up from behind. A voice came from behind him. Wait, are you the one who wanted to ask Zhang Yuxi for help just now? Hearing someone coming to the door, Lisa turned around and saw that it was an unfamiliar woman, and the other party didn't seem to be a woman from an ordinary family. She should be no worse than Zhang Yuxi. As long as she has some relationship with someone, Lisa is willing to make friends. So when she saw the other party coming to her on their own initiative, Lisa naturally changed her expression and said, I wonder what's the matter with you, young lady. The other party smiled, then said with a hint of smile, don't worry. Although I don't know what you said to Zhang Yuxi just now, but if you need any help, you don't have to find the Lord to cooperate. It's not impossible to find me. After all, we are the Wang family. After hearing this, he said in surprise, what do you mean? Lisa didn't know how much of the conversation between him and Zhang Yuxi this person had overheard, but he was sure that the other party must have a plan against him, and he was not a fool. The other party said he wanted to cooperate with him. Why should he cooperate with her so eagerly? So, he said to the other party, if you want to cooperate with me, then you have to tell me what benefits you can give me. After asking this question, the other party took his arm, and then smiled at him and said, it's very simple. For example, just now you planned to give Zhang Yuxi a set of cosmetics in order to curry favor with him. But it's different here. If you cooperate with me, I will give you a set of cosmetics in return, and you will get more than that. How about that? When saying this, the other party's eyes revealed the temptation of conspiracy. This is indeed a good choice for Lisa, but he feels a little doubtful. That is, why the other party is so good to him. There must be other reasons. So he asked again, then don't tell me what you want me to do by doing this. Do you know what I just said to Zhang Yuxi? After hearing this, the other party shook his head, raised an index finger to his lips, made a close-up action, and then said, no, I am completely different from him. I value your potential as a person. I know that you used to work for another boss who is very powerful in the Magic City, but he betrayed you. It's really pitiful for a woman to be hurt because of love. It doesn't matter. As long as you join my Wang family, I will definitely be able to avenge you. After hearing this, Lisa first sorted out the situation carefully in her head. Is there a big family called Wang family in the entire Magic City? If there is, maybe he will consider it. As a result, he thought for a long time, and only remembered that he had met a chairman of the Wang family at a banquet in the second-rate society. Moreover, this person's company is not big, just a second-rate family. So how can he compare with Lin Feng, who can dominate the entire Magic City? If you let an ordinary person choose, he would know who to choose, so he was a little hesitant, but the other party did not force him. Instead, he said to him, if you think you still need time to consider, I can agree to it. Anyway, this is my business card. If you have considered it, you can call me at any time. I'm leaving first. After watching him leave, Lisa also fell into silence. Should he agree to cooperate with the Wang family in order to find a shelter? But the people he had contacted before were all first-class families. He had never taken the initiative to contact second-class families like this. Now his status and position are very different from before. There is really nothing to choose from, but is there really only one person left? After sighing, he shook his head. In any case, this is at least the first case he knows that can give him a chance, so he kept it. After all, he knows what his situation is like. It can no longer be compared with the past. Chapter 1344, The Evil Will Be Bullied by the Evil. Lisa and Wang Qianqian talking. The female classmate next to him always had a good relationship with him, and then said to Zhang Yuxi, isn't that Wang Qianqian? Why did you talk to the person who just came to see you for so long? They won't say anything bad, right? After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi shook her head and said, I don't know either. Anyway, I don't know much about his affairs. When Zhang Yuxi said this, there was a sense of identity in her tone. He didn't know whether Lisa had a relationship with Wang Qianqian or not. But it seemed that they had been chatting for so long. It can be seen that there must be another choice for Lisa. After all, Wang Qianqian has always been dissatisfied with her, if it weren't for Lin Feng and himself suppressing her. I'm afraid that Wang Qianqian is the most prominent person in their major, so it is not impossible for her to join forces with Lisa to deal with herself. Originally, Zhang Yuxi was going to go shopping with this classmate of hers. Although the two of them had a very good relationship, She didn't expect Lin Feng to come less than 10 minutes later. After getting off the car, Lin Feng walked towards them. Seeing that Zhang Yuxi was also with a classmate, he greeted her. At this time, the classmate next to Zhang Yuxi happened to tell Lin Feng what happened just now. He said to Lin Feng, "Just now, a person named Lisa came to see Yuxi, and that person seemed to want to see you, but our Yuxi did not agree to tell you immediately. But I have to say this in advance, you can't abandon our Yuxi for that woman." Because the female classmate just listened to a little bit of what Lisa said before, he thought that the woman came to Lin Feng to have something between men and women, although he did not think that such a very infatuated person like Lin Feng would betray Zhang Yuxi. But he felt that Lin Feng was such an outstanding person, there must be many women outside staring at him, maybe one or two of them coming to the door is not a strange thing, so he just wanted to remind Lin Feng. But unexpectedly, Lin Feng's face became a little ugly after hearing it. He didn't expect that this Lisa was exactly the same as his boss Zhang Cation. Before, his competitor Zhang Cation couldn't compete with him in the research of medicine. So he kidnapped Zhang Yuxi. Although that time was a close call, it still left a very deep impression in Lin Feng's heart. Unexpectedly, another secretary Lisa came this time. Although the other party had been fired, it was not important to Lin Feng at all. The important thing was why he went to Zhang Yuxi, and if he wanted to find him, why didn't he come to him directly? He felt that all this was because Lisa was adding drama to him. Lin Feng began to get angry in his heart. Even if Zhang Yuxi didn't say anything, he had already guessed that the other party must do something bad. At this time, Zhang Yuxi took his hand and said, "There's no need to be so angry. I think he must not dare to find you. What he said to me is actually very simple. He just wants you to give him another chance. He has important information to tell you. He wants to cooperate with you so that you can protect her." After hearing this, Lin Feng was a little surprised. The female classmate next to him was even more surprised. She originally thought that Lisa came to the door to force Zhang Yuxi to achieve some purpose. "I didn't expect that it would be something like this that would affect a person's future." It seems that he thought too much. However, that Lisa looked annoying, and when she gave gifts, her expression of carefully trying to please others was too obvious, and she was not sincere at all. So this made the female classmate feel afraid that Zhang Yuxi was deceived, so she took the initiative to tell Lin Feng what happened just now, otherwise he would not have said it. But even after Zhang Yuxi explained it this way, Lin Feng was not as angry as before, but he still felt very irritated. Those people always came to Zhang Yuxi for no good reason. This was not a solution. He took Zhang Yuxi's hand and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't handle that matter well, so that woman came to you, but I'm glad she didn't cause you trouble." Zhang Yuxi smiled, and said, "Are you still worried? How could they cause trouble to me in school? Even if they wanted to, they would never succeed. You have to know that this is a public area." Seeing that Zhang Yuxi was still quite careless, Lin Feng helplessly tapped his nose with his hand, and then said, "No matter what, it's better to be careful. Thanks to our classmate Zhao for reminding me, otherwise I wouldn't know about this." Zhang Yuxi shook her head and said, "How could that be? In fact, he just told me that the matter was not particularly troublesome, so I was going to tell you, but I didn't expect you to come so soon. And don't be too nervous, don't worry, the last incident was just an accident, you didn't keep an eye on me, it's not your fault, we were all too relaxed that day." The words of the two people really made classmate Zhao next to them envious. She looked at Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi with bright eyes and felt that her mouth was full of dog food. She couldn't help but said, "I was going to tell you that person to go shopping, but now that you are here, Lin Feng, Yuxi can only belong to you. Alice, I can only find someone else to go shopping." Zhang Yuxi smiled and said to him, Okay, I'll buy you milk tea next time. You go find someone else now. I want to discuss the matter with Lin Feng." This afternoon, Zhang Yuxi couldn't go shopping with her friends anyway, so she just followed Lin Feng into the car. The two hugged each other when they were sitting in the car. After all, they hadn't seen each other for a long time, and Lin Feng missed her very much. After the two let go, Lin Feng said to her, "What did Lisa say to you just now? Did he really tell you all his intentions?" After hearing what he said, Zhang Yuxi nodded, and then recalled what Lisa said just now. "Yes, he just wants to cooperate with you, but he dare not tell you. I guess he is afraid that the previous incident will make you reject her all of a sudden, so he wants to start with me. She also bought me a set of cosmetics, but I didn't accept it. After hearing this, Lin Feng nodded. That's right, if he can't buy something for his woman, does he need someone to give it to her? What's more, it's a person who is not familiar at all and can be regarded as an indirect enemy. Lin Feng said, then forget about him. Evildoers will always be bullied by evildoers. Although I don't want to say anything to him or do anything to him, someone will definitely take revenge on him. Zhang Yuxi knows that he will not end up well just because he betrayed his previous boss. So I don't have to do anything. I just need to watch the show quietly. After hearing this, after hearing Lin Feng's sinister words, Zhang Yuxi's eyes showed a smile. It's not bad to always hear these incredible countermeasures from Lin Feng. Although what he said just now may not be able to respond to Lisa's words. Now that he heard Lin Feng's decision, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Because he didn't know whether Lisa could bring any benefits to Lin Feng, it was also a very correct thing to choose not to cooperate. As for Lisa's result, it had nothing to do with him. Chapter 1345, Some are happy, some are sad. Some are happy, some are sad. After leaving Zhang Yuxi, Lisa thought about it and called the person from the Wang family. No matter what, he felt that if Zhang Yuxi could help him, he would just go back. But if Zhang Yuxi couldn't help him, he had to leave a way out for himself. Sure enough, after he got through the call, he heard a voice from the other end, and it said to him very happily, Ms. Lisa, you have already thought it through. There is no harm in cooperating with my Wang family. As soon as he opened his mouth, he was full of praise and compliments. Lisa used to be very familiar with him, but he was the one who acted like a lackey. Now he felt a little ridiculous when he mixed with others. He cleared his throat and said, okay, I agree to cooperate with your Wang family, but you have to guarantee that the benefits you give me will definitely not be less than cooperating with Zhang Yuxi. The reason why he put forward such a condition was because he felt that he had the qualifications. After sighing his inner thoughts, he heard what Miss Wang said to him on the other phone, okay, I can accept the conditions you offer, but you have to show your strength. We players will not do business at a loss. Although your current identity is not worth much money, we still want your information. Miss Wang is not a fool. She knows that buying information from Lisa is much cheaper than buying it from other places. For example, the same information, if bought from Zhang Yuxi or Lin Feng, the price will be at least 10 times higher. So they know very well how to praise before, after all, they are business people. After hearing what the other party said, Lisa thought about it and nodded, saying, okay, I promise you, but you have to show your sincerity. Since you said you want to cooperate, can I meet your family? After hearing this, the eldest lady of the Wang family hesitated and seemed to be saying something to the person next to him, which means that now all the conversations between him and Lisa have been heard by another person. At least one person. When thinking of this, Lisa's back still felt a little cold. But he quickly reacted. Isn't it just the Wang family? What's so scary? He has nothing now, so it doesn't matter who he offends, so he quietly waited for the other party to reply to his message. After a while, the other party finally replied, and then said, Miss Lisa, yes, our Wang family is willing to accept your condition. If you want to come, I will send a car to pick you up this afternoon. After hearing this, Lisa nodded and reported her address. Then it's a pleasant appointment, Miss Lisa. I hope we can meet in the afternoon. Goodbye. After the other party hung up the phone, Lisa also realized that she was not so unlucky all the time, and now the situation has finally improved. But this is not the final result he wants. The final result he wants is to watch all his enemies die one by one. In this regard, he has to say that he is very similar to another person. That person is Lu Qingqing, who has always wanted to take revenge on Lin Feng. Until now, Lu Qingqing has not given up her plan, although she still can't impress Lin Feng. But he is waiting for the last chance, which is tomorrow, an opportunity that cannot be lost. He must grasp it, and Lisa has also decided to take revenge on Zhang Yuxi tomorrow, so they both have their own targets for revenge. At the same time, they have to influence each other. If Lisa wants to deal with Zhang Yuxi, it will definitely affect Zhang Yuxi's plan. Once it is affected, it will also be a huge impact for Lu Qingqing, who wants to take revenge. So for Lu Qingqing, if he knew, he would definitely stop this woman from ruining his plan. But what makes people uncomfortable is that he doesn't know at all, so now he said to Zhang Yuxi, the press conference will start tomorrow, what about you? Have you prepared new products in your factory? Before, Zhang Yuxi asked someone in Lin Feng's company to steal the products in his company, So he found a product configuration method that can be the same as Lin Feng's, but now because of Lin Feng's attack on him, he first understands a little. That is, it is impossible to continue to copy the other party's products, so this makes Lu Qingqing very curious. What kind of product will he come up with on the day of the press conference? However, Zhang Yuxi did not want to answer his question, and told him, "This is not your business. You just need to help me bring Zhang Yuxi. Don't you hate him? Then you can vent your anger." Since the other party didn't want to tell him, he could only find the answer himself. He asked Zhang Yuxi again, "It sounds good. Let me intercept Zhang Yuxi tomorrow, but how do you know that he will definitely come with Lin Feng tomorrow? You know that Lin Feng is very precious to her now. He will not let him participate in anything that is a little dangerous. I am afraid that what you said will not make your plan come true." After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi stared at him fiercely, and then said, "Please don't doubt my ability. If I say it's okay, then it must be okay. What's the point of you saying these things? Anyway, you have already agreed. Listen to me tomorrow and I will let you get what you want, and you let me get what I want. We are a win-win situation. This is also our only plan to turn things around. You should be very clear about what will happen if you return to the Lu family." This threat is really effective for Lu Qingqing. After listening to it, he gritted his teeth and said to the other party, "Very good, I heard your threat, but you also remember it. I will definitely not let you go so easily." Although he is indeed cooperating with Zhang Yuxi now, it does not mean that he can let the other party humiliate him at will, especially when it comes to the entire Lu family. This matter is really too much for him. Maybe he himself does not feel it, but the harm Zhang Yuxi has caused him is no less than the harm Lin Feng has caused him. Zhang Yuxi did not have any other feelings after listening to it, but just felt that this young lady was really troublesome. Chapter 1346 Overestimating One's Capacity. After a while, Lisa arranged a location with the Wang family. The people there sent a car to pick him up. After getting in the car, the other party handed him an important document and said, "Miss Lisa, this is what our Miss Wang asked me to show you. If you are willing to agree to the terms above, then you can't sign it now. I will take you to our Miss and talk to her in detail. If you don't want to, then you don't have to sign it." After hearing this, Lisa looked at the rules on this contract. It was probably the same as before in Zhang Yuxi's company. She could only do things for him. Everything she did had to take into account the interests of their Wang family. If she didn't do this, the retaliation she would receive in the end would be obvious. Such situations are commonplace. So he went over and signed it, then handed the contract to him, and said, "Okay, I've written it." Seeing that Lisa had signed the contract so readily, the other party was also very happy, and then said, "Then Miss Lisa, please sleep in the car for a while, but we will wake you up when we arrive." After that, the driver was very considerate and brought him a blanket. Lisa nodded. It must be said that the servants of the Wang family treated him much better than other people. However, this was only good now. But what would it be like in the future? So this time, he was very cautious in choosing cooperation. However, Lisa did want to sleep in the car, so she covered herself with a blanket and fell asleep. Before this, he was very nervous, afraid of being retaliated by Zhang Yuxi. He was also afraid that the bad things he had done would be discovered. Now he can finally sleep well. About half an hour later, the car slowly stopped, and then the driver in front of him whispered to wake him up, "Ms. Lisa, you should get up, we have arrived at the location. Let you talk to our eldest lady by yourself." After the driver woke him up, Lisa went down. It was a relatively retro villa. And sitting in the lobby of the villa was the eldest lady of the Wang family who had called him and communicated with him before. This place was chosen to make people feel comfortable, so after Lisa sat down, he said to the eldest lady of the Wang family, "I have already signed the contract just now, so don't worry, I am still loyal to your Wang family. From now on, we are people on the same boat. I want to achieve my goal. And I can also provide you with what you want, that's it." The eldest lady of the Wang family smiled slightly. His red lips raised a very charming smile, then clapped his hands, and asked the servants behind him to serve Li's son good tea and food, and then said to him, "Miss Lisa, since we have chosen to cooperate, it doesn't matter if it's a little late. You eat first now. I see that you are very busy all day and don't have much time to rest. Now is a good time for you to replenish some energy." After saying this, Miss Wang really watched him eat like this, And Lisa couldn't help but give him face, although these foods are only liked by the rich. And for someone like him who is used to eating fast food and really wants to enjoy dinner, he will never order this kind of food. But he still has to eat it. In any case, since the contract has been signed, they are people on the same boat. He can still accept such a small price. Miss Wang watched Lisa eat all the food she handed to him, and then a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. In the eyes of the Wang family, no matter how glorious you were with Zhang Yuxi in the past, but now it is just a dog picked up by their Wang family. So if Lisa was unwilling just now, or had any other emotional reaction, then naturally the Wang family would see it. It is hard to say whether they will continue to cooperate. Anyway, they must be very unhappy with Lisa. After finishing the snacks on the table, Miss Wang took a recorder and an A4 paper for writing. But there was another person next to him who is responsible for recording these, and then he said to Lisa, "Okay, now we can talk about this. You can tell us everything you know about Zhang Yuxi's company before, anyway, we will take care of it for you." After hearing this, Lisa nodded, and then told all the memories before, including how he stole very confidential documents from Lin Feng's company, how he drove away those competitors later, and kidnapped Lin Feng's girlfriend. Until now, how he betrayed himself, etc., have all been told. Including Zhang Yuxi's romantic affairs, all of them were told without missing a word. This was equivalent to telling all the dark history of Zhang Yuxi. After hearing this, Miss Wang showed a smile on her face. The reason why she signed this contract with the other party before was to get all the information she knew from the other party, and now she knows it. After that, he had nothing to ask Lisa, but it was still possible to save his life, so he patted his palms. The person who recorded all the conversations stood up, bowed to Miss Wang and was about to leave. But it was not over yet. Two more people came up from behind, one of them holding a plane ticket, and the other holding a box, which probably contained cash. After coming up, Miss Wang pointed at the plane ticket and told Lisa, "I asked someone to buy this for you. It's a ticket to go abroad. You can fly tomorrow morning. And this box is full of cash. If you don't have money after you go abroad, you can still survive, and you don't have to worry about money for at least the next 10 years. After hearing this, Lisa looked at the Miss Wang in front of her in disbelief, and then said puzzledly, "Miss Wang, it seems that this is not what we agreed upon. Didn't you tell me that you could promise to help me and do everything I want?" After hearing this, Miss Wang couldn't help but speak, and said with a smile, "I said, why are you so naive? Lisa, you should also understand that our Wang family is just a second-rate family. Even if we cooperate with you, we will naturally get everything we want, and then protect you. You don't really think that we will overestimate our own capabilities and confront Zhang Yuxi head-on, do you? No one is that stupid." Originally, their Wang family could have squeezed more benefits from Lisa. But they also understood that if they did this, they would have to give Lisa a lot of benefits before she would tell the truth. Instead of doing this, it would be better to kill him with one stroke and send him abroad directly. See how big a storm he would cause if he could not come back in a short time. Chapter 1347, True Identity Revealed. After hearing this, Lisa showed an expression of disbelief on her face. Her eyes were full of shock, and she was shaking with anger. She stood up, stomping her high heels on the floor, and her voice revealed an extremely angry emotion, saying, "Is this what you said to me? Miss Wang, I remember I told you before that I would do everything I could to achieve my goal, and you promised me that you would help me do it, so I chose to cooperate with you. And we just signed a contract, and it was agreed that we would meet each other's requirements, otherwise the contract could be submitted to the judicial process at any time." He had been a secretary for so many years, and he had more or less some legal experience, so he had never really suffered a loss in the contract. This time, he was able to defend himself after being deceived by Miss Wang, which showed that he was really not a person who would easily give up his goal. But such a person could not make Miss Wang feel that he had other uses for their Wang family. He looked good, but he had already appeared in this circle. Can Lisa be used to build good relationships with other bigwigs? This is obviously impossible. Besides, his business ability is indeed strong as a secretary, but he has not been able to move around in one position for so many years. He is simply not able to do a good job for the Wang family. What's more, the secretary industry is a position that is very close to the boss of the family. If he is too familiar with Daewoo of the Wang family, who knows if those handles will fall into his hands. At that time, it will be another hidden danger. It is better to kill them all at once. Therefore, it is very good that the Wang family did not kill them directly. In the eyes of the Wang family, they are already very kind, but this Lisa is not grateful, so Miss Wang decided to teach him a lesson. He said to Lisa, "Miss Lisa, what I said before was indeed very sincere. I want to cooperate with you because I think you are qualified to cooperate with us, and we also have enough conditions for exchange. But think about it yourself, is it something a mature person would do for any family to do all they can to help you fight against Zhang Yuxi? Obviously not. Besides, we are just a second-rate family. We have indeed returned the benefits you gave us to you, allowing you to live without lack of funds within 10 years. Isn't this a great thing? If you really want to fight Zhang Yuxi to the end, then you may be the one who gets hurt in the end. Have you ever thought that we are doing this for your own good? Not only do you not think we have done you a favor, but you think we have taken advantage of you. This is too much." These words made it impossible for Lisa to refute the other party at all. So he laughed fiercely, then pointed at Miss Wang and said, "Very good, I didn't expect that I would be calculated even though I have reached this point. I thought I would help you and then you would help me, and this was a matter of mutual help. I didn't expect you to trick me. Very good, it's all because I didn't understand the human heart. But it doesn't matter. Do you think what I said just now is all I know? Although I have told you all the ugly things Zhang Yuxi did and what he did, you forgot that you know very little about Lin Feng. I also inquired about it just now. You and Zhang Yuxi are not equal in school. Your family is not as good as Zhang Yuxi's, let alone Lin Feng's, so you have no face in front of them, but you are not reconciled to all this, so you try your best to get married, or do other ways to make your family, the Wang family, surpass the families of Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng. But you haven't done this yet. You feel very uncomfortable in your heart, but you have no choice. I originally had a plan here and wanted to tell you. If you had listened to me, I would have found a way to deal with them, but since you betrayed me, I will have to keep this plan to myself forever." The eyes of the eldest lady of the Wang family suddenly became fierce. He looked at Lisa, who he had underestimated. He thought that this guy relied on her beauty at most and took the opportunity to get the position of secretary. Even though he has some work experience now, he still has insufficient accumulation. He has seen many such people in his life, so he thinks that the other party probably doesn't have any other great abilities, so he didn't take him seriously. He didn't have any other great abilities, so he still didn't take it seriously, but now such a bombshell has been revealed. Miss Wang also came over and looked at Lisa. It can be seen that there was great power in the eyes of both of them. Neither of them is someone who is easy to mess with. It was only at this moment that Miss Wang revealed her true colors. Before, she had always been smiling and welcoming, but it turned out that she was just acting. But for a second-rate family like this that tries its best to become a first-rate family, how can it possibly raise a little white rabbit? It is simply a wolf in rabbit's clothing. At this moment, Lisa also felt that he did not lose unfairly. At least he got the money and a plane ticket. He walked over and said to Miss Wang, "Okay, I will accept the things, but I also wish your second-rate family can successfully become a first-rate family in the future." Seeing that Lisa was really about to leave, Miss Wang, who was next to her, gave her subordinate a look, meaning why didn't he stop Lisa? Did he have to do it himself? After seeing this, the other party nodded, immediately stretched out his hand, then blocked Lisa's way, and said to him in a cold tone, "Miss Lisa, you can't leave yet. Our Miss Wang has something else to discuss with you." After hearing this, Lisa sneered, and said with sarcasm in her voice, "Don't forget, who told me to take the plane ticket and this box of money and get out? Now I can only leave. Why bother to stop me? Stop me, there's no benefit for you." After hearing this, Miss Wang stepped on her high heels herself, and then kicked the box in Lisa's hand to the ground, facing him with an ordering look, and said, "Since you have more important information in your hand, then say everything before leaving. Otherwise, I won't let you leave." But after hearing this, Lisa picked up her box unhurriedly, and then looked at the domineering Miss Wang in front of her, and said, "You don't want me to leave easily, and you want to know my other intelligence, then this is another price. You don't think that I can give you new intelligence just by what you said." In the end, Lisa is not afraid. This Miss Wang is just a second-rate family. Some of the people he knows are not inferior to him. He just wants to get more benefits from the other party. Then he naturally has to use his own brain to think. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1348. Can money buy everything? Now. As soon as he finished speaking, Miss Wang looked at the people next to her, one of whom brought up another box and said to him, "This is our new reward for you. As long as you can tell me how to deal with those two guys, I can give you all the things in this box." In Miss Wang's view, no matter how many plans Lisa has, he is penniless, so everything should be the easiest thing for the other party to buy off. After saying this, Lisa looked at the money. What he really cared about was revenge on Zhang Yuxi, but these people used money to fool him, but it didn't matter. With enough money, he could hire a killer. It's the same. He nodded, and then said to Miss Wang, "I can tell you, but you have to keep your promise and really give me this box of money. Otherwise, how do I know that you will find someone to borrow this box of money halfway?" When he said this, he kept a watchful eye, so he paused and replied, "I can tell you half of the plan. After you give me the money, I will tell you the other half of the plan when I feel safe." After all, he was a person who was fooled once, and it was indeed very safe to do so. But after hearing Lisa, Miss Wang was not happy, because he felt that he had given Lisa a chance to prove that what he said was true. The other party actually dared to pick and choose and make other requests. Isn't this obviously trying to slap him in the face? He shook his head and said, "No, you must tell me all the plans now, otherwise how do I know if you are lying? Half of the plan needs to be heard, and my Wang family can afford it with so much money." This Miss Wang looks really domineering. The impression given by him was totally different from the gentleness he showed when he first met Lisa. So Lisa snorted coldly. He had been in the workplace for many years and had encountered all kinds of bad clients, although sometimes he relied on his looks to solve problems. But his methods were not low either. At this moment, he kicked a box open with his shoes, picked up the cash inside casually, and threw it on the ground and said to Miss Wang, "Do you really think money can buy everything? It's true that I am very short of money. I have nothing now, but don't forget that I have a lot of things. Do you really think that after I become an enemy of your Wang family, no one else will help me? In the entire Magic City, if I don't have one or two very familiar people in all these years, then I have been in vain for all these years." After saying this, he wanted to turn the tables. From the momentum, let Miss Wang know that he is not a soft persimmon that can be squeezed by anyone. Sure enough, Miss Wang's face became very bright, and then her eyes staring at him changed, and then she said, "Very good, is this your confidence? Okay, you don't want to finish it, but I can give you the money and you can go. But if you really get to a place you feel safe, and you still don't want to hand over the plan, then don't blame my Wang family for hunting you down even at the risk of danger. You should know that in the entire Magic City, besides our Wang family, there are other forces that have grudges against you. You probably don't want so many people chasing you and running all over the streets." After saying this, it can indeed be seen that Lisa's face revealed an expression of forbearance. Indeed, he now has too many enemies in the entire Magic City. If he continues like this, it is estimated that it will not be long before he will be found by these enemies one by one. Maybe he won't even have the chance to leave the Magic City. Although this is his only chance to leave with a plane ticket, he is unwilling to do so. His revenge has not been avenged yet, so what if he leaves the Magic City and goes abroad? If one day Zhang Yuxi really reacts and brings people to find him abroad, then he still can't escape, so for the long-term plan, he must get rid of this guy in the Magic City for the future. Okay, then we've decided it. We agreed that you will give me the money first, and I will tell you half of the plan first. Bring a pen and paper, and I'll write it down. The real plan to deal with Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi is to let them join forces with the Lu family. This plan is actually very simple, but it is only half of it. He has not yet told the Wang family how to join forces. After writing it, the other party took a look at the words on the A4 paper, then stared at Lisa in shock. They didn't expect Lisa to really have her way, but they didn't dare to use this half of the plan, so Miss Wang waved to the people next to her. She meant for them to let Lisa in front of them leave first. He was still waiting for the other half of the plan. After watching the two sides make way, Lisa took the two boxes and a plane ticket in her hand and turned away. After he walked out of this small restaurant, he found that the people inside did not follow him, But it did not rule out that there was a tracker on the box, so what he should do most now is to find a hotel nearby, and then take out all the things in it, and put other things in. This box cannot be kept. In the restaurant, the people around Miss Wang said to him with some doubt, "Miss, do we really have to prevent that woman from leaving? If we can capture her, we may be able to force her to confess. Even if he knows someone, it doesn't matter. Our Wang family doesn't have to be afraid of him." After hearing what he said, Miss Wang nodded and said, "What you said makes sense, but you forgot one thing. If we can avoid offending him, we should try not to offend him. He is a great contributor to us now. If you think you offend him, who can we ask for help? Miss Wang is not the only heir in the whole family. To be precise, the heir of their Wang family should be his brother, but because he is a very smart person, so he wants to compete with his brother for the position of heir. Up to now, he has paid a lot of hardships for this family, so as long as he continues the plan given to him by Lisa, then maybe the position of heir will really fall on him in the future, and his useless brother is not worthy of being the real heir. The man in front of him can only give up. He originally wanted to send someone to capture Lisa, but they were all given orders, big and small, and he dared not disobey. Chapter 1349. Answer the phone quickly. Several hours have passed. After discussing with Zhang Yuxi, Lin Feng has made all the preparations. Tomorrow morning, he just needs to welcome Zhang Yuxi and Lin Feng. He said to Zhang Yuxi, "If something happens tomorrow, will you send someone to protect me?" After hearing this, Zhang Yuxi nodded and said, "Don't worry, you are a member of the Lu family, even if you are in conflict with your family now. But it is inevitable that you can't protect yourself. Your Lu family will take you back in the future, so if I betray you now, who knows if you will suffer in the future." Zhang Yuxi really didn't want to become enemies with the Lu family, so even if he used Lin Feng, he had a bottom line. After all, she was not an ordinary person, unlike his previous secretary, Lisa, who was thrown away after use. If he knew that the secretary Lisa, whom he looked down on, was now uniting the forces that could be regarded as impressive in the entire Magic City to deal with him, he would not think so. However, Lin Feng was still very pleased. What the other party said was right. Seeing that she was the eldest daughter of the Lu family, he did not dare to do anything to her. Although the identity of the eldest daughter was temporarily deprived of her, but one day it would be returned to her. After she smiled, she said to Zhang Yuxi, "Okay, I'll go back first, and act according to your plan tomorrow." After saying hello, Lin Feng left first. Zhang Yuxi stayed to call another assistant he had contacted about the pharmaceutical processed in the factory, which would be on the market tomorrow. Naturally, he would not bide himself to invest. The last time, the information was stolen from the researchers in Lin Feng's laboratory building, and this time, wouldn't it be better to steal the product directly? So, after Zhang Yuxi thought of this, he sent his order directly. After receiving his order, the assistant once again summoned those who were ready to sneak into Lin Feng's laboratory building, and all of them got on a van. This van is best to go to the door of the laboratory building where Lin Feng is researching products. He sleeps in the last few hours of the night, so there are not many people in the laboratory building who are really working overtime. Either they have gone home to rest for a few days, or they stay to look after the laboratory building. Basically, there are less than 20 people here, and there are already 50 people who really have the original intention of one side. So, when the people who are going out arrive at the laboratory building, the assistant said to all of them seriously, "You only have half an hour to go in, you must get the latest medicine, so that we can release the product tomorrow. And don't forget, you also need to steal a detailed product. Because it is impossible to steal a medicine without asking for other data. But the data is too late for them now. Because the data still needs to be processed after it is taken back, and it will take several weeks to process it into a product. Then the most direct way is to take back a finished product. This will save more than half of the time for analysis, so tomorrow, after launching this product at a press conference, we can guarantee the future production. Isn't it over?" And the simple thing is that if Lin Feng's medicine has more elements of each series, then Zhang Yuxi will split the elements in their product into small doses. Even if he is found to have the same elements as Lin Feng, he will not be afraid anymore. After all the people were dispatched, they rushed into this experimental building. The two security guards who opened the door had already been dealt with by their people. After entering, the space of the entire experimental building is very large. And there are cameras, So it is because tonight is a special period that they can rush in, otherwise, the security system inside will automatically send more people over. All the people are divided into two groups, rushing into two large experimental roads. Because Zhang Yuxi had already mastered the specific planning and deployment of this experimental capacity when he used Lin Feng's people to retrieve intelligence. So their people rushed into the two experimental buildings very quickly based on the previous intelligence, so the other experimental buildings are of no value. However, it will take a lot of effort to check both of the selected experiments, and it is impossible to take no less than 20 minutes. In recent days, after Xiao Chen handled the accommodation procedures for his sister Xiao Rou, it was meaningless to go home alone, so he simply lived in the laboratory. So tonight was his duty time. It was just like usual, nothing big, and the overtime work in recent days had ended. He thought he could make a cup of coffee and sit at his workstation to watch a drama if he was bored. As a result, after a while, he suddenly heard other sounds coming from the building. And the sound sounded like someone broke in. Xiao Chen was a little surprised, and then he pushed the chair away, put down the coffee in his hand, and walked outside. As he walked, he was thinking, no one will come back so late. There shouldn't be a press conference tomorrow, and their boss Lin Feng will be the highlight tomorrow. And they have already called to tell all the staff in the laboratory building to arrange to stay some people and take some people off today. Logically speaking, those who have already gone home on vacation. Then these people will not come. There is a reason. It is possible that someone else broke in. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen finally picked up the stick in their laboratory. This was originally used for experiments, but it felt quite heavy in his hand, about 20 kilograms. He took it out, and then hid behind a fire door. But he didn't expect that there were more than just a few people entering their building. But he didn't know what these people were doing in their laboratory for a while, so he could only hide in this fire elevator. After thinking about it, he felt that this group of people should not come to rob. After all, these things in the laboratory building are all these instruments. The only possibility is that they may be Lin Feng's competitors. After thinking about this, Xiao Chen took out a mobile phone and called Lin Feng, but at this time Lin Feng probably just finished class and was having dinner with Zhang Yuxi, so the phone didn't see the caller ID. Xiao Chen was about to cry in a hurry, "Hurry up and answer the phone, answer the phone. If you don't answer the phone, our laboratory will be gone." But no matter how anxious he was, it was still useless. Because Lin Feng never answered the phone, but at this moment he had heard the group of people who entered their laboratory building, and they had already rushed to the second floor, the third floor, and were about to reach the fourth floor. You know, the fourth floor is an important floor where they store medicines. If they let them come up, they will be doomed. Chapter 1350 Lin Feng Goes Crazy. Xiao Chen was very anxious. Finally, when the group of intruders were about to go up to the fourth floor, Lin Feng's phone was finally connected. He said to the person on the phone, "What's wrong? Xiao Chen, are you used to being alone in the laboratory tonight?" Originally, he thought he wanted to see his sister, so Lin Feng asked, but he didn't expect that the next words shocked him. Xiao Chen said anxiously, "Boss, it's not about my sister, it's our laboratory that has come. A large group of people came here. They are like robbers, searching things floor by floor. They want to search our medicine. Boss, can you let the third-party decision-maker come here right now?" After hearing this, Lin Feng was speechless, but immediately became very angry. He knew what was going on with his ass. It was nothing more than because Zhang Yuxi was desperate, so he wanted to use this method to deal with him. Lin Feng was first concerned about how Xiao Chen was doing. He said to him, "Are you okay now?" After hearing the other party's concern, Xiao Chen shook his head and said, "I'm fine, boss. I'm really scared. These guys will rush into our fourth floor laboratory in a while. What should we do? If they take our products, then something big will happen tomorrow." Lin Feng certainly didn't expect that the other party would be so desperate. He thought that he had taught Zhang Yuxi a lesson, but he didn't expect that there would be such a problem. "Okay, since they dare to play with him like this, don't blame him." Lin Feng calmed down, and then said to Xiao Chen, "The most important thing now is that you must protect yourself and don't get hurt. Then you wait for my people to arrive at the scene. I will send someone to block the door now. They should have brought at least dozens of people, so you can't confront them head-on." Xiao Chen was very touched. He didn't expect that his boss would be so good to him, so he nodded and said, "Okay, Then I will hide temporarily. After all, I am quite familiar with the entire laboratory. When they come up, they will probably be able to enter the empty dormitory. Lin Feng nodded, and then said, "Be careful." After he hung up the phone, he quickly called someone he knew to contact him on how to reinforce his laboratory. After all, he couldn't really let someone steal all his research products. If so, he would not be able to hold the press conference tomorrow, and even his own face would be gone. This was the ugliest time that Lin Feng had looked in the past few days. Zhang Yuxi next to him was so scared that she didn't dare to speak. After seeing his frightened face, Lin Feng extended his hand, patted the other person's head, and said, "It's nothing. Something went wrong with the company just now. I'll take you home first. I have to go somewhere tonight." He decided that since Zhang Yuxi was determined to go against him, he would not let him go. It's better to do it today than to wait for another day. Then today, let's completely deal with the other party! Exclamation mark. Now, no matter who comes, it's not appropriate, and no one is qualified to plead for him. Zhang Yuxi also understood that Lin Feng's recent things were not going well, and she didn't make a fuss. She nodded and said, "Okay, I'll go back first." Lin Feng felt that Zhang Yuxi was a little aggrieved, so he took her hand and said, "I promise you that after this period of time, I will definitely accompany you for a while." The time came for Zhang Yuxi to smile slightly. "It doesn't matter, we are still in college now, and we will have plenty of time after we graduate. Now, you want to do your own business, of course I support it." Lin Feng was really very relieved to get such a good recognition from Zhang Yuxi. After saying goodbye to Zhang Yuxi, Lin Feng was very pleased with the people he had called over, because not all of them were free at night. But because of his words, all of them were able to come today. This time, Lin Feng himself was on the scene, hoping to teach Zhang Yuxi a lesson. This time, Lin Feng did not go out on a small scale like before, but directly called a large truck. Although there were not 500 people, at least 300 people were taught a lesson, and the 50 people were enough. Lin Feng was not doing this for the dozens of people in the laboratory, but to go directly to Zhang Yuxi and beat him up. Wasn't he going to hold the press conference tomorrow? It would be a joke to hold the press conference because of his image after being beaten. Now in Lin Feng's mind, he had already imagined that Zhang Yuxi was beaten black and blue by him, but he had to force a press conference tomorrow. That's right, Lin Feng has decided one thing now, that is, this guy doesn't like to go to the press conference? That time, give him such an opportunity. Otherwise, how can he be worthy of what the other party wants to accomplish so much? After thinking about this, Lin Feng smiled coldly, but because his smile was too weird, the younger brothers who followed him felt that they began to tremble all over. One of them asked, "Boss Lin, are we really going to the laboratory building now, and then surround them all and do it according to your plan?" Because after Lin Feng got angry this time, he ordered them to bring some gunpowder directly, wanting to blow up their opponents. This is not a trivial matter. So after hearing this, everyone felt that it was too dangerous. Everyone was very scared. But Lin Feng waved his hand and said to everyone, "Just do what I say, anyway, the laboratory will not be blown up." After all, the laboratory building was built after considering various factors, and it would not be easy to let its own laboratory building be destroyed. So, Lin Feng and his group of people went towards the direction of the laboratory building vigorously. When the big truck arrived, they got off the car. All the people started to do what they should do, that is, to take out all their weapons. They aimed at the laboratory building, and then the ignited gunpowder exploded with a bang. However, they had focused their firepower on the 4th floor according to the direction predicted by Lin Feng. Of course, before that, Lin Feng had called Xiao Chen and asked him to retreat from the 4th floor to the basement. No matter what happened, he should not come out, and he also asked all the other researchers in the laboratory to do the same thing. This is related to the medicine they invented, so don't they care? This is not within Lin Feng's consideration at all. First of all, it's too close. All the medicines to be sent out tomorrow are placed in the underground city of the laboratory. There is another important reason. That is, his current anger is enough to make him want to blow up the entire laboratory and destroy Zhang Yuxi, so he has reached the point where he wants to make the other party suffer. How could he care about the remaining materials? It's not that he can't afford it. Unless it is something precious that cannot be measured by money, he will show mercy. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.